a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Who gets scared by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a...
Now, and here I am, really doing God's work. I mean, heroic effort for me tonight. 5 hours solo on a Friday night in the summer. Can you imagine if the Red Sox weren't good? I've done a few of those. Last few years, nothing like grinding out a Friday night in the summer, and the Red Sox suck. No, they're good, and we got a good one. We got a good one at Fenway tonight. We got a good one at Fenway all this weekend. I told you at the beginning of the baseball hour, this guy who's going for Kansas City tonight is good. You want to carve out some time to watch him. And by the way, I'm just doing my part to manifest a Red Sox victory tonight because I want them to leave no doubt. Leave no doubt. Make them add. Force ownership. Force Craig Breslow to add. More of your thoughts. 617-779-0985. It is officially the Joe Show. It's McCarthy in for Joe. We got Jeff Williams alongside tonight. It's going to get weird in here tonight, Jeff. It's going to get weird. I'm going to take this puppy off the rails, but you call on what you want, and I've got Red Sox calls. We're going to blow through them here. Eric in Reading. Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up? After Full Throttle, I don't believe a word out of Sam Kennedy's mouth. And I've lost so much faith in their personnel judgment. Absolutely, they've foregone their advantage as a big money market team, plummeting in payroll. That being said, they could win me back with just like 2 or 3 real quality stuff. Go out, try and make like a shilling trade, or when you trade the prospects for Pedro, and get one really awesome run-producing bat. They will have won me back, and because I've lost faith in their judgment, all the last place finishes.
Well, if you're counting on them to go out and get Pedro Martinez to win you back, you ain't ever going to be won back, my friend. There is no Brian Rose and Tony Armas Jr. out there for Pedro Martinez at this deadline. But is it Garrett Crochet? Is it Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? I'd say set your sights lower, but hell, as a Red Sox fan, you go out and trade for Justin Turner and Yusei Kikuchi, and you call it a day. I'll say, did I want a little more? Yeah, but oh my God, they invested. They believe in this team. Holy crap. The bar is so low. They have set the bar so low over there. They are Costanza-ing it, this thing, man. And it was Costanza bobblehead night the other night in New York. But man, if you set the expectations so low, and then you give me 39-year-old Justin Turner at the deadline, I will be pants off, man. I'll be like, let's go. They believe. My God, how the mighty have fallen. They don't need all that much, though. They don't need all that much to be a playoff team. They don't. What a message it would be to send to the fan base to add a couple of veteran role players. What a message it would send to the players to add a couple of veteran role players. And if they don't, whoo boy. Don in Newburyport. Hey, Don.
Hi, it's Don in Newburyport.
Hey, Don.
Kevin, you're my favorite host, but
thank you, man.
I'm glad you're here. I saw the Sea Dogs about a week ago, and Roman Anthony just blew my mind. I mean, he's a great player. He really is. Unfortunately, that day, Meyer didn't play, and neither did Kyle Teal. If you want to know who I think we should dump on the prospects, I don't mean dump, I mean, use for trade bait. I think Meyer and Nick York probably are the two that I would think we should think about moving. A lot of times when we talk about trades, we don't mention who we're going to give up. We just mention who we want to get, and we have to think about that.
Yeah, Don, and I'm going to let you go on that, but I think you make good points. Yeah, no, it's not, who are you trading for? It's what you're giving up. And in some ways, that's a little bit of an easier discussion to do on July 12th because you don't know how the market's going to shake out. Yeah, I mean, is Garrett Crochet going to get moved? Probably not. Is Justin Turner going to get moved? Is Vlad Guerrero going to get moved? Are the Blue Jays going to sell? We don't know. So it's a little bit easier for me to come in here tonight and say, all right, well, if you are going to acquire a big fish, which of those big 3 prospects should you be willing to move? And I've made the argument for a number of weeks now that it should be Marcelo Meyer. because I, like you, think Roman Anthony is a stud and Kyle Teal is my untouchable. I've made that decision. I know he's the number 3 prospect in the system, just a catcher who's risen this quickly in the organization. He was drafted less than a year ago. He's already in AA, should probably be in AAA. I just think there's so much value in that. So Teal's my untouchable. I'm not moving on from him. But you can't do it as reckless. I think we would call it a dangerous take, and I'm going to direct this to Milliken and his ilk, his people. It is a dangerous opinion to say you will not trade any of those 3. It's dangerous. It's bad. I'm warning you. One of those 3 is not going to pan out. And maybe they'll end up being big leaguers. They probably all will be big leaguers. But Xander Bogaerts was the number 2 prospect in baseball when he came up. Jeff Williams, take a guess who the number 1 prospect in baseball was when Xander Bogaerts was number 2 in baseball. Take a guess.
Mookie?
Jurickson Profar.
Oh, okay. I've heard of him.
Yeah, because he's a big leaguer, but he's nothing special.
No.
So these 3 guys, you need to figure out which one's going to be special. And this is how you determine who a good GM is and who a good GM is not. Chaim Bloom brought in all these guys, but he was never going to be willing to make the determination. He's never going to be willing to make that trade. Yoan Moncada was literally the number 1 prospect in baseball when they traded him for Chris Sale. Rafael Devers was not. They kept the right guy. Dave Dombrowski made the right decision. They kept Benintendi over Moncada. And Benintendi hasn't been anything truly special, but Benintendi's been a better player than Moncada. They made the right decision. So, yeah, you need to decide. And Milliken, your ilk, you need to decide which one are you willing to give up. Because if it's not at this deadline, it's going to have to be going to have to be the offseason, because there isn't room for all of them. Time to make a decision. And I'd rather make the decision now when you can improve a team in the moment that's trying to compete this year and for years to come. 617-779-0985. Jimmy in Brockton. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, how you doing, McCarthy?
How you doing, Jimmy? I love you too, Jimmy.
And I'm from Brockton, like Milliken. I didn't know if you know Milliken's from Brockton.
I did know Milliken's from Brockton.
We know that, right?
Oh yes.
So do you. I would like you to run the Red Sox, okay? Because you're saying everything. I'm shaking my head. Me and my buddy Jimmy and Goose. We're shaking our head saying everything you're saying is true. I'd swing for the fences and get Guerrero. Why not? Right? They got a great young team. I mean, I would just go for it, man. I love Durant. They're top of the order. They got speed. Yep. They got no defense. The side pitcher's been good. Why not? Why not go get Guerrero?
Jimmy, it's time. It's time. You're not building anything anymore. You've reached that point. You have built something here. This team is putting it together. We got a massive series coming up this weekend. Massive. This is good. This is a young team that's getting better, and you're running out of spots. Yes, go out and add. Go out and add aggressively. I think if you made me predict right now, and I'm not in the prediction business, I think they'll probably add at the deadline because I think they'll probably have no choice. I think they're hoping that they'll be given a choice. I think they're hoping the team's going to fall off a little bit to make their decisions a little bit easier and justify not adding. But I think they're going to kind of middle it a little bit and go out and add, a couple of veteran role players, which, again, will make them better and I'll be in favor of. But just like Alex Cora said, let's get greedy. Why not? Why shouldn't we get greedy when it comes to trying to chase down the Yankees or trying to get a real impact player, not just for this year, not just a rental, but for years to come? I'm willing to pay that price. Are you? How about Ferd in Worcester? Hey, Ferd.
Hey, Matt. How are you? Happy Friday.
You too, man.
Thank you. I want to talk about a couple things with the Red Sox. Obviously, number one, we've had this discussion, you and I, on the air maybe a couple times about the Red Sox. And I'll be honest with you, I think that they're waiting for them to crap the bed so that they can be sellers at the deadline. And second of all, can they not DFA Trevor Story when he comes off the IL? Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to because he's owed $390. So $90 million over the next 3 years. Watch that last night. Watch Cedar Rafaela go into the hole last night and make that play. And the thought crossed my mind, like, Jesus, they're paying Story $90 million over the next 3 years, and you've got this young kid who is as good a fielder as Story, and I don't know, actually plays baseball, is actually out there. And you know what? At this point, is probably a better hitter than Trevor Story, too. Trevor Story hasn't hit in 4 years. But you're owing him $90 million. So what are you going to do? Well, I mean, I guess you can put him at second base, where he's not as valuable because he's a shortstop. I guess you could move Marcelo Meyer there and stunt his development. I mean, I guess that means Cedon Rafaela even going to play? Huh? What? You got to make some decisions, man. You got to make some decisions. Can't have all of these guys. They only let you carry 26. Let me know when they expand the diamond. It's been 9 players since Abner Doubleday was running around the fields of Cooperstown. If we expand it to 12, let me know. We can keep all of these guys. Patrick in Charlestown's been waiting patiently with a thought from last night that I do want to get to. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, man, I'm all in. The Pirates are my new second favorite team. I'm all in on Paul Skeene. I think he's a rock star. We all know who his girlfriend is. My 2 questions for you. Do you think he can have a huge impact on baseball as a whole? I think he can. And are you watching him too? Thanks, yeah, Matt.
Skeens is the man. He's the man, and he's starting the All-Star game, which is awesome. I can't wait to watch him on Tuesday night. And can you imagine if that news came down today after throwing a no-hitter last night? But instead, he has 99 pitches. We need to pull him out of the game. Jeff, when I am sports dictator, when I am sports emperor, which can't happen soon enough, if you ask me, any manager who pulls their starting pitcher with 99 pitches in the 7th inning, after the 7th inning of a no-hitter, jail. Straight to jail. 15 years hard labor, and then 10 years of non-hard labor, but still imprisonment after that. Just to think about it. Just to think about it. Jail. 617-779-0985. Hey, you need some more pitchers because Cooper Criswell's pitching for the Red Sox tonight. That hasn't gone so well. I want to get into Jaylen Brown and your thoughts on anything. Anything at all tonight. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. Top tier equipment? Check. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Lobster Lovers Weekend is back. Visit the 99 restaurants this Friday through Sunday and order their famous colossal or hot buttered lobster roll, and you'll get a free 3-course meal upgrade. This weekend only. You gotta love the nines.
Need a new appliance? Doyon's Appliance in Reading, Gloucester, Bedford, and North Andover should be your destination. Doyon's carries all the major brand name appliances at a price you're looking for. Doyon's also has the staff you can trust to answer any question. Shop Doyon's Appliance online at doyonsappliance.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and as you enjoy the summer sun and cheer on your favorite team at the ballpark, there's something more exciting to add to your playbook: finding money at findmassmoney.gov. Here in Massachusetts, 1 in 10 people have unclaimed property from things like uncashed paychecks, refunds from overpaid bills, or forgotten savings accounts. I found my money at findmassmoney.gov, and so could you. Findmassmoney.gov is free, easy to use, and it only takes 30 seconds.
You feel away?
I don't really got no comment. You know what I mean?
Nah, come on, home team. Come on, bro.
I got my beautiful day right there. So
he's trying to deflect, ladies and gentlemen, and she's a stepper.
Yeah. No comment. That's about the best thing that Jaylen Brown could have said. However, he did expound on it at the ESPYs last night. And Jeff, I think it's in Carts. There's a Jaylen Brown comment at the ESPYs about wanting to tell the story. Jaylen Brown wants to tell the story. I think it would have been better for Jaylen Brown if he just left it at the no comment with Cam Newton. He also had this to say last night.
How does it feel to have support from so many NBA fans that think that you should be on Team USA?
It feels great to have support, and one day I'll share my story. People don't all have all the information in the world that they would like to know. It just feels great to be here at the ESPYs and to be holding up to Larry O'Brien.
We probably don't know the full story. There's some politics behind the scenes and all of that. I think we understand that. Corporate politics, whatever it may be. Jaylen Brown should be an Olympian. I haven't been on the air, so I haven't had the opportunity to share my thought on this, but Jaylen Brown should be an Olympian. Fact, not opinion. I don't think anybody should make that argument. I don't want to hear that, Derek White really actually kind of fits the role better on that team. I love Derek White. I do. Jaylen Brown is one of the 12 best basketball players on planet Earth right now, let alone one of the 12 best American basketball players on Earth. One of the 12 best players on the earth right now. It is a joke that he's not there. It's a joke. And I generally don't care about USA basketball, Olympic basketball, because they're going to win anyway. You could put me out there as the 12th man, and it doesn't matter. I mean, take a look at this roster, man. Tyrese Halliburton. Who should be there? Jaylen Brown or Tyrese Halliburton? I'm just looking at the guards, all right? Just looking at, guys who Jaylen Brown, I'm not going to say Joel Embiid or Bam Adebayo or anything like that. No, I'm talking about the guards. Jaylen Brown, greater than Tyrese Halliburton. Would you rather have Devin Booker or Jaylen Brown right now? I would rather have Jaylen Brown. Would you rather have Jaylen Brown or Anthony Edwards right now? Yes, did you hear me? Anthony Edwards. The Felger and Maserati program. Do you hear me out there? He should be there over Anthony Edwards. I know he's your guy. No, you love him. You want to shove the Anthony Edwards greater than Jason Tatum comments and takes down our throats a few months ago. Here's a take for you on that. Jaylen Brown greater than Anthony Edwards. It's that simple. And yes, Jaylen Brown greater than Derek White. I love Derek White. I do. I'm happy for Derek White. He deserves it. I'm glad he's on the Olympic team. I don't want to take anything away from Derek White. I think he's one of the best role players in the league. He deserves this type of recognition. He is a winning basketball player, man. He's a winning basketball player, and he's a guy that you want on your team. And there's a lot to be said for that when it comes to building not just the 12 best, not just building the best basketball team, but the best basketball team that works together. Derek White, just like Drew Holiday, is going to help any team win a basketball game. But let's be real. Jaylen Brown's a better player than Derek White, and Jaylen knows that. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Jaylen knows it. And that's where this thing potentially becomes a mess for the Celtics. Because normally I'd just say this is a USA basketball thing, which frankly, I don't care about. I don't care about the USA basketball angle of this story. We've been doing it for 3 days. Admittedly, I'm a little sick of it. I am. I know it's the story we got to do tonight because it's the biggest story around outside of the Red Sox right now. I get it. But if this were just a USA basketball thing, I wouldn't care as much. If this were just a Nike thing, I wouldn't care. You know what I care about? Nike stock. All right? I care about Nike stock. I don't care about who Nike wants on Team USA or not Team USA. All right? It's a politics thing. You can do politics on your own time. Call Howie. Do whatever you want on that. It's not a basketball thing. It's a corporate world thing. And, we can get into the, Stephen A. and whether Jaylen Brown is marketable and all that stuff. I don't care whether Jaylen Brown's marketable. I don't care if Jaylen Brown is selling me shoes. The only thing I would care about if Jaylen Brown is selling shoes is if I had stock in whatever shoe company he was hawking. I would care about that. I don't care about Jaylen Brown's advertising. I don't care about his marketability. I don't care about any of that. I care about it when it becomes a Celtics thing. And unfortunately, I think it's become a Celtics thing. Jaylen's social media activity the other day is indirectly a shot at Derek White. It is. So that's how it's going to be. I get it. He's probably directing that at Nike or the powers that be or the man or whoever it is. And does he have a right to feel that way? Yeah, probably. But you become a bad teammate when you do that. And I'm not saying that Jaylen Brown is a bad teammate. I'm saying he was a bad teammate. There's a big difference in that. Trying to think of the sports radio equivalent. If I could do like a Colin Cowherd like analogy here. Tim McCone gets the midday job. I tweet, so that's how it's going to be at Beasley Media. You know what they're going to say? They're not going to say, oh boy, somebody screwed Matt McCarthy. They're going to say, hey, Matt McCarthy, bad teammate, you a-hole. Instead, I just slid into McCone's DMs and ripped him. No, just... Bad teammate. I'd be a bad teammate if I did that. Coworker of yours gets something. You send out an all-company email. So this is how it's going to be. Because Janice and marketing got the promotion. What? Now all of a sudden, you're going after Janice. Even though you're not directing it at Janice, you love Janice. Janice is great. Who doesn't like Janice? She brings in cupcakes. Janice is a delightful coworker. True role player, Janice. Everybody wants good things for Janice. I want good things for Derek White. Maybe Jaylen Brown wants good things for Derek White. But when you start going after the man, you start going after the decision makers, even if you've got a gripe, a legitimate gripe. Janice has only been here for 2 years. You've been there 11, whatever it is. You send out the all-company email, I see how it is. This is how it's going to be. Bad teammate. Bad teammate. Not saying he is a bad teammate, saying he was a bad teammate. Whether he intended it or not, I don't think he intended it. Now, all of a sudden, does it become a Celtics thing? Jason Tatum's getting asked about it. He's doing the politics. I basically doesn't want to go there. Now, all of a sudden, people are going to ask Derek White, hey, do you think Jaylen Brown should be here? All because Jaylen Brown made a bigger issue out of it publicly than it needed to be. Was he screwed? Hell yeah, he was. Should he have gotten that spot? Yep. Should he have been on the team before this? You bet. No doubt about it. Now all of a sudden the Celtics have to deal with a little bit of this fallout. Hopefully they come back in the fall. Everything's good. He's not holding it against Derek White, or Derek White doesn't feel a little bit offended. I hear Derek White is Jason Tatum's best friend on the team, if we're going to believe Jimmy Stewart, and I do. His phone never lies when it comes to this type of stuff. So how does Jason Tatum feel about Jaylen Brown indirectly, not directly, but indirectly, taking a shot at his guy? How does the rest of the team feel about that? Derek White's a popular player. Why wouldn't he be? Derek White does everything right. And now because Jaylen Brown did something wrong or created an issue, the Celtics are going to have to answer for this. I've been saying this for weeks. Don't focus on the competition in the NBA. Focus on the Celtics. In regards to their ability to win multiple championships, it's going to be far more about them than it is about another competitor reaching their level. We can do the Sixers thing. We can, the Knicks, they're so tough. I think it's more about the Celtics than anything. If they stay healthy, they remain committed to the cause, they have a new owner who's willing to spend on the team, I don't think it's about anybody else challenging them. I think it's about the Celtics challenging themselves. And does this become an issue for them? I don't know. We'll see. 617-779-0985. I want to get more into the competition in the East, but John in the car has a thought on something I just said. Hey, John.
Hey, what's going on, McCarthy? Look, great show.
Thanks, man.
And everything, but I'm a big Jaylen Brown guy, but he is absolutely nowhere near Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards already this far into his career was way better than Jaylen was at this timeline of Anthony Edwards' career. And plus, by the way, the Derek White over Jaylen Brown thing, they look at the fit, not just who's the best player. So they look at not only talent, but they look at team chemistry and all this other stuff. So you got to put that into factor too.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying on that, John, and Derek White, let's not discredit Derek White as an Olympian. I'm not trying to do that. Jaylen Brown can do a lot of things that Derek White can do. Jaylen Brown is an excellent defender. Derek White's a really good defender. White's a better shot blocker, but you say you're looking at fit. You're replacing Kawhi Leonard with Jaylen Brown or Kawhi Leonard with Derek White. I'm sorry, let's not pretend like it's even close in that regard. Jaylen Brown is far more like what Kawhi could give you than Derek White. So it's not a fit thing. It's not. I mean, why wouldn't you want Derek White as the 12th man on your Olympic team? Because he's going to go in and he's going to play a role and all of those things. Yeah, I get that. I'm not trying to discredit Derek White. Maybe I'm indirectly doing that, kind of the way that Jaylen Brown indirectly discredited him. And on the Anthony Edwards thing, I'm not saying that Anthony Edwards won't be better than Jaylen Brown in 3 years. Anthony Edwards is trending in that direction. I'm saying two things, though. One, don't crown anybody before they've gotten there, which is more an opinion I had regarding Anthony Edwards and just the fawning over him for a couple of weeks there when he ultimately accomplished nothing in the Western Conference Finals and was not good in Game 7 of the Western Conference Semifinals either. So don't crown him before he deserves to be crowned. I love him. I think he's a great young player. But Jaylen Brown right now is a better player than Anthony Edwards. Jaylen Brown was greater than Anthony Edwards in the NBA playoffs. Jaylen Brown won Conference Finals MVP. Anthony Edwards didn't show up in the Conference Finals. And then Jaylen Brown went on and won NBA Finals MVP. So, I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But, yeah, I mean, is Edwards going to be a better player in 3 years? Yeah, probably. But let's not get there. This is about now, building the best team for now. There is no argument against Jaylen Brown being there. He got screwed, and is that going to hurt the Celtics here eventually? 617-779-0985. Quick update, then right back with you. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray tonight.
Sports Hub headlines.
Underway over at Fenway Park, and it is not going well for Cooper Criswell. He's getting hit around the ballpark. It's 2-0 Kansas City in the second inning. They're bunting, they're running, they're doing Royals things, and Criswell is just in the zone right now. Not in a good way. Justin Slayton headed to the injured list with elbow inflammation. Cam Boozer up from Worcester. Pirates rookie Paul Skeens named the National League starting pitcher for the All-Star game. NBA news, Jalen Brunson signing a contract extension with the Knicks, 4 years, $156 million. Bruins signing defenseman Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to two-way contracts for the upcoming season. And a final at Wimbledon set on the men's side. Carlos Alcaraz against Novak Djokovic in a rematch from last year. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. Spending summer on the Cape or abroad for a vacation, Awaken 180's at-home program travels with you. Don't put your health off. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update in 30 minutes.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
baseball with you earlier in the baseball hour, and here comes this bum. Red Sox trail 4-0, middle of the second. He is getting hit around the park. I just want fun. I just like fun. I'm fun. I'm a fun guy, right?
It's still early.
Yeah. Against Reagans. This kid's a stud for the Royals. This Reagans. You can't win them all. But no, I mean, I guarantee you somewhere, Sam Kennedy is pumping his fist. You see, this is why we shouldn't add. Well, what do you want us to do? I mean, not trot that guy out there. Thank you. Would appreciate that. A-holes. 617-779-0985. Your thoughts on the Celtics, the Jaylen Brown saga. Larry and Beverly. Hey, Larry.
Hi, how you doing?
What's up? How you doing?
I just wanted to say that I think what Jaylen Brown is doing is really selfish, and that for the Celtics, like, he's not really gaining anything for the team, essentially, by how he's acting. And even though he's frustrated at the moment, he needs to kind of have, like, the awareness to be like, this is a team sport. I'm going after a title. Screw the Olympic team. Thank you.
God, this whole screw the Olympic team, no, he should want to be there. I do not begrudge any athlete in any sport, by the way, for wanting to participate in something like the Olympics. And I know this comes up all the time. I mean, if I'm Kristaps Porzingis, I mean, I don't want him playing in it, but if I were him, I would want to, represent my country in the Olympics. The NHL players who want to go play in the Olympics, I never have a problem with that. Never, not once. World Baseball Classic even. Xander Bogaerts wants to go off and play for Holland in the World Baseball Classic. I don't care. Go do it. I like international tournaments. I do. That's just me, and I don't begrudge any of these guys. No, to say screw the Olympic team, no. But you are getting at the more important point, which is this could create an issue for the Celtics. Because indirectly, Jaylen Brown has crapped all over Derek White in the last few days. Please don't deny it. Don't call in. I mean, I guess call in, of course, if you want. I welcome all thoughts here. This is an open space. It's a safe space, one might even add. Are all thoughts welcome at 617-779-0985? Well, I'm not going to say all thoughts are welcome, but I'm going to say all sports takes are welcome. There are plenty of thoughts we want nowhere near this program that I do not want to be associated with. You want to talk about something that A, isn't fun, or B, doesn't have to do with sports? Nope. That's not happening. You want to talk about sports? You want to have a take on Jaylen Brown? You want to have a take on some of this stuff? Please have at it at 617-779-0985. What I don't want is for this thing to become a mess for the Celtics. It's a USA basketball thing. It should not be a Celtics thing, and Jaylen Brown has indirectly made this a Celtics thing. He's made this about Derek White making the team over him. That's a problem. That's an issue. As I've said for a long time, we're focusing on the wrong things when it comes to the Celtics and their chances to win multiple championships. Don't focus on the competition. Don't come at me with Paul George, and Caleb Martin in the Sixers. Don't start talking about the Knicks to me. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I think those teams, it is child's play compared to the talent the Celtics have on this roster. I think it actually has very little to do with the competition in the NBA, and it has much more to do about the Celtics themselves. Will they come back to the pack? It's not about the pack catching up to the Celtics, which has been our focus here for the last few weeks. Oh, I mean, Paul George, is that going to get the Sixers on the Celtics level? Oh, give me a break with that. Give me a break. Did you not just watch the last year? Did you not watch this entire season? The Celtics, when healthy, when fully committed, when fully bought in and fully invested, from an ownership level down to the coach, down to the players, all of those things in place, nobody's close to them. Nobody. Would Denver be a tough matchup? Yeah, I think Denver would be a tough matchup. I don't know if Denver's going to get there. They have tough matchups out west. Minnesota was obviously a tough matchup. I think the Celtics would have dispatched Minnesota pretty easily. I think it's a better matchup for them. Minnesota was dispatched easily by Dallas. The Celtics owned Dallas in the NBA Finals. It wasn't close. It's not about the competition. It's not about the field. It's about the Celtics. Will they come back to the pack? Will they come back to the competition? Will infighting get to them? Will contracts become an issue under a new ownership? Will they be able to stay healthy? If Porzingis is healthy, not that I'm expecting that, but if Porzingis is healthy, look at where they can be. They won this title without Porzingis. And you saw him the few times he was actually able to play, the difference that he made. And they still steamrolled everybody. They're more talented than everybody. They were ready to win. They had learned their lessons. They had learned from their mistakes. And the question is, will that keep up? Will they keep that going? Or will things like this ultimately tear them apart? That's what I'm more worried about. I'm more worried about that than whoever the Sixers add and 34-year-old Paul George. Like, give me a break with that, please. You going to have some infighting when the team comes back from Paris? I'm not saying you will, but I am on edge. I am on the lookout for anything that could potentially get in their way. Because I really think it's theirs. It's theirs for the taking. What do you make of it? 617-779-0985. I see on the phone line, we'll get to you, your thoughts on Jaylen Brown, your thoughts on the Celtics moving forward. This should be their league for years to come. These are the types of things, there are only a few things that can derail them. These are the types of things that potentially could. I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying they potentially could. We'll get to that, and also some news on the NBA Cup. Because, boy, we spent a lot of time on the NBA Cup. Don't you remember that, Jeff? Oh, well, this is an opportunity for the Celtics to show that they're actually ready to win something. I was guilty of that. I did that whole thing. I bought that hook, line, and sinker. Wrong again, McCarthy.
Boy, the people in charge, too, really went out on their creative control there with the name of it now, the NBA Cup.
The NBA Cup, yeah.
It flows off the tongue.
Very, very European. It's like the FA Cup. You want to talk about I'm serious about this. I'll take your thoughts on the Euro final, too, on Sunday. I am very excited for that.
That should be a real good one.
Oh, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. I'm going to be watching, I think, maybe with an Englishman. Which is going to be
That's going to be all epic.
That's going to be a hell of an experience. But, yeah. So, your thoughts on the Celtics, your thoughts on Jaylen Brown, your thoughts on anything. We continue. 617-779-0985. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
What a perfect day for a small business loan. Wouldn't you say so, Robert?
Absolutely, David.
And they're off, right?
I just admire anybody who can crank out hits, like writing a good pop song, particularly good like pop rock song. That's a hard thing to do, man. How many hits did this guy crank out?
Like countless. We could sit here for like 20 minutes just popping them out.
I would argue, like if we're talking about, and again, this is a great argument to have in 2024, like greatest hits CDs. Yeah, because I'm living in the present, and it's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray. I think the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' greatest hits album is one of the greatest hits albums of all time.
Yeah, I would agree on that.
By the way, I was offered an opportunity to go to Dave Matthews tonight.
Ugh.
Which, Jeff, I would have gone to. Hey, I don't get the Dave Matthews hate. I mean, I'm not like the world's biggest Dave Matthews fan, but like, who doesn't like Crash Into Me?
Me.
I got a call from Beetle. Was he doing this yesterday? I heard like the very tail end of this. Was he doing this?
I think so, yeah. I know today they were talking about it.
Okay. So Beetle, Tim McCone, and Revs coach Caleb Porter are going to the Dave Matthews concert tonight. I was offered to be the fourth. And here I am, the schmuck I am, doing a 5-hour grinded out summer night in Friday night in the summer. I could have been at Great Woods with McCone, Beetle, and Revs coach Caleb Porter. And here I am. Heroic effort from me.
I appreciate it. Who knows what I would have gotten stuck with.
Which leads to a question I want to get to later on in the program, because, I mean, I need to come up with my list. If you were to go to one concert with a Boston sports figure, who would that figure be, and what would the show be? I mean, this was an unexpected call this morning. I got a text from Beetle. It's like, hey, do you like DMB? I'm like, sure, why not type of deal. I mean, that was my text. I'm like, anybody who says they don't like Crash Into You is lying. And apparently Jeff Williams is lying.
I am absolutely not lying. I'm 100% truthful right now.
You should play Crash Into Me. Play Crash Into Me, Jeff. For all the people sitting down there in Great Woods tonight who are definitely playing us. They're not putting whatever Dave Matthews song is. I could probably name 2 Dave Matthews songs. 3 Dave Matthews anymore.
I'm going to throw up.
But seriously, think about that for later on in the program. If you could go to one concert with a Boston sports figure, who would the figure be, and what would that concert be? Because I'm sitting here with FOMO tonight, because I'm not hanging out with Caleb Porter and Beetle and McCone at Dave Matthews at Great Woods, because I'm working for you people. I'm doing it for you. Jay in Worcester, I'm doing it for you, Jay, for you.
McCarthy, I appreciate it. How you doing tonight?
How you doing, Jay?
Not too bad. I just had a question. I know it's a slow time of year, and no one really cares about the Red Sox anymore. But is it really a bad thing that Jaylen Brown is pissed off that he's not on the Olympic team? Don't we want players that are mad when they don't make an all-star team? I know it's not an all-star team, but make an all-star team? I, for one, appreciate that he's mad about that. And also, one more thing. I know my buddy Dilly, he had a vasectomy today, so I know he's listening to this. Yep. Dilly, I appreciate that. I hope you're listening. Hope you're okay.
And, you know, I hope he's okay, too. You get that bag of peas out, and you're good, man. Shout out to, what was his name, Billy?
It was either Billy or Gilly. Who knows?
Shout out to Billy or Gilly on your vasectomy. Congratulations. Bravo.
He's a good man.
No doubt. Good man. Hey, congratulations, Billy. I just want to say it again. All right? If you're listening, Billy or Gilly in Worcester. To every Billy in Worcester who's ever had a vasectomy, congratulations. We here at the Matt McCarthy In for Joe Murray show salute you. Tyler's in Baltimore. Tyler.
What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
Not bad. Hey, I just wanted to point out that I absolutely agree with the last guy. Jaylen Brown should be absolutely pissed that he didn't make the team. Anybody who's on that team is either LeBron's little puppet or a friggin' joke compared to the rest of the NBA players that should be on the team.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say everybody on the team is a joke. It's a pretty good team they've assembled. Jaylen Brown should be there, though. And yes, he should be upset. Of course he should be upset. The reason he's not there is because of corporate politics, it sounds like, because Nike has influence, because LeBron has influence, maybe because Jason Tatum has influence. And again, is this where this becomes a Celtics issue? You can direct it at, Nike, and sure, why not? Direct it at Nike. But to say, everybody's there because they're LeBron's puppet, yeah, there's probably a little bit of that, but Derek White is Jason Tatum's best friend on the team. Is that why Derek White's there over Jaylen Brown? So, you can't call in and say, oh, it's LeBron, it's a player's thing, but not also hold Jason Tatum accountable for it, too. So that's why this becomes a Celtics thing. Again, I don't care. Listen, I think he should be there, but in the end, in the grand scheme of things, I don't give two craps about USA basketball. They could put you and me out there, and we're still going to beat, France for the gold medal, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. But it matters to me when it becomes a Celtics problem, and it's going to become a Celtics problem. Because indirectly, he criticized Derek White. Yes, of course he should be pissed. You want him to be pissed. It's one of the best things we like about Jaylen Brown. That guy is a competitor, man. He's a competitor. And to not make the team is a slap in the face to him, and he should feel that way, and he has every right to feel that way. But by going public with his grievances, not just his general grievances, but his grievances on the day that Derek White gets the spot over him, that's the problem. So both of those things can be true. You should want him to be pissed, and you should want him to think to himself, man, I'm better than Derek White, and I'm better than Tyrese Halliburton, and I should be there over Booker, and all of those things. Because you know what? All of those things are true. All of those things are true. Just when he go public with it the way he went public with it on the day it becomes a Derek White story, now all of a sudden it's a Jaylen Brown is indirectly taking a shot at Derek White. And I'm sorry, don't deny it, he did. That's not his intention, but you can take it that way, and there's a part of that too. Again, Tim McCone, who's at Dave Matthews tonight without me, because I'm here, I'm grinding it out. McCone got the midday show, so what if I tweeted out, oh, this is the way it is, Beasley Media, at Beasley Media? Am I a bad teammate if I do that? Would I have been a bad teammate? Jeff, bad teammate if I do that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so if I had done that, but again, shoe on the other foot, I'd be at Dave Matthews tonight. Who would be here?
Probably McCone.
McCone, grinding out a 5-hour shift while I'm hanging out with Beetle and Caleb Porter. So if I had tweeted that, you'd say, Matt McCarthy, bad teammate, bad guy. It's the same thing with Jaylen Brown, man. It's the same thing. It's indirect, but it's a problem. It's a problem. Let's go to Tom in the car. Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm a little bit angry, actually. I think that guy Larry up in Beverly needs to get pin slapped talking about Jaylen Brown being selfish. It's insane. Derek White, all due respect, he is a great role player on the best team. Jaylen Brown, like you said, is a top 12 player in the world.
Yes.
So that guy saying he's being selfish, he's looking out just for himself, is ridiculous.
Okay, but the way he went about it, I can understand why somebody would have that reaction. I agree with you, Tom. He's a top 12 player on planet Earth right now. There is no excuse for him to not be on the team, and it's not just a Derek White thing. He should be there over Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton. That Pacers team was better without Tyrese Halliburton. They were better without him. So yes, Jaylen Brown should be there. He should have been there before Derek White. He should be there over Derek White. And he has a right to be upset about that. He has absolutely a right to be upset about that, to feel like corporate politics got involved or, buddy-buddy relationships got involved. This is not, it should be a meritocracy. And it was not a meritocracy. And Jaylen Brown got screwed in that. But instead of just being quiet about it and dealing with it behind the scenes, he had to go public with it. And now he's created an issue, and he did the no comment thing at the ESPYs yesterday, but the cat's out of the bag. And a USA basketball issue is now becoming a Celtics issue. 617-779-0985. Thoughts on the Red Sox, I've got those on the board. More thoughts on Jaylen Brown. And whatever you want on a Friday night, it's McCarthy. McCarthy's here. Not at Dave Matthews. Here, present and accounted for. With Jeff, who's very thrilled to be here instead of at Dave Matthews. We continue. No commercials, just the headlines here.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, relatable, reliable, and even relentless at times.
We're doing it live.
This is Boston's home for sports. WBC FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. BC Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox trailing the Royals 4-1 over at Fenway Park. It has not gone well for Cooper Criswell tonight, who's up for Worcester, getting the spot start, and, well, that's why it's a spot start. Justin Slayton headed to the injured list with elbow inflammation. Cam Boozer up from Worcester. Paul Skeens named the National League starting pitcher for the All-Star game on Tuesday. That's a day after he was pulled from a no-hitter. NBA news, Jalen Brunson signing a 4-year, $156 million contract extension with the Knicks. Celtics group opponents have been announced for the in-season tournament this upcoming year. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Washington. Bruins signing defenseman Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to two-way contracts for the upcoming season. Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic have advanced to the Wimbledon's men finals this weekend. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
Boston's first FM all-sports radio station. Let's go! All-sports radio. Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
You saw them last year, right?
No, I didn't see them last year. I saw them, I want to say it was back in 04, 05 at Great Woods, and yeah, it was awesome. It was a great show.
They touring this year?
I don't think so.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I missed them last year.
Tickets sold very fast.
No shows currently announced. There's a quick Google ski, and yep, all right. That's McCarthy in for Joe Murray tonight. Anything you want, 617-779-0985. I think we are officially in the we can take this puppy off the rails. Friday night, after 8 o'clock. We can make that happen. Do you think Joe would have kept it on the rails for the first hour?
Yeah, the first hour, definitely. But now we got SmackDown in Worcester tonight, and I have it on. And we already have a Sarge sighting.
Yes, Sarge.
It looks like him, Jimmy, and Andy Wong. I think they have like front row hard camera side seats.
Yes. I saw them. They were at the Mercantile in Worcester. Good spot. Tim McCone recommendation there. They were at the Mercantile in Worcester. I guess David Wade dropped by. Yeah, it's a hell of a scene. You want to talk about something that I also definitely would have gone to? The SmackDown in Worcester. Am I a wrestling guy? Not one bit. Do I care? Nope. Jimmy Stewart invites me to go out with Sarge and Andy Wong. That's a crew right there.
It's an experience.
Oh, hell yeah. It's like the Dave Matthews thing. You want me to go hang out with Beetle and Caleb Porter? I'll do it. It's an experience. I'm an experience guy. I don't have to like it, but I have to like the people. If I like the people, bring it to me. I'll do it to say I did it. SmackDown in Worcester on a Friday night? In. I'm not going with those guys. Out. Strong out. SmackDown with those guys? In. No doubt. I'm sure we'll get more sign. Jimmy was asking what his sign should be. Did we see what Jimmy's sign is?
Oh, I haven't. I have to check Twitter.
All right. We'll find out. To you. Adam in the car. Hey, Adam.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Doing well. I was just saying on these last couple of Jaylen Brown calls, like, if you're him, you're sitting on the Celtics as the second best player. You've got the accolades of Eastern Finals MVP, but you're sitting there with the All-NBA stub, the Olympic snub. At what point do you sit there and you go, hey, I'm not getting the respect I deserve. If I'm the guy on my team, these accolades might come my way. Whether or not the Nike thing is actually a thing and what kept them off the team, if you're the number one guy on your team putting up the stats he did instead of the number 2 on the Celtics behind Jason Tatum, do you not think that gets him further? And do you think that this could be the beginning of the end when we look back in 3 years and Jaylen Brown's no longer a Celtic? That kind of started that divide.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm willing to go that far. I would have said that a year ago. I would have. But I think, winning is the ultimate deodorant. Now you could say if you've already won once, do you want to go build your brand elsewhere? I don't think Jaylen Brown, though, is entirely about building his brand. If we're going to talk about the marketability of a player, Jaylen Brown has prevented himself from being marketable in some ways. I mean, if you're out there ripping Nike and you're a basketball player or you're an athlete in general, that's going to hurt you. It's Nike we're talking about. And you're out there ripping them, criticizing them for their sweatshops in China. You're doing that because you believe it and you believe in calling that out and you don't necessarily believe in getting the shoe deal from Nike. And a lot of guys aren't like that. So, I mean, I'll tip my cap to Jaylen Brown there. But it's not necessarily the most important thing to him. Jaylen Brown, wants to save the world or make the world a better place in some senses. But also one of the reasons he was against Nike is he was aligned with Kyrie Irving on something that you should not be aligned with Kyrie Irving on. So he's an interesting cat. He's an interesting character. And he's rubbed some people the wrong way. And he's been on the right side of some things, if you ask some people. He's certainly been on the wrong side of things, if you ask most people, most right-minded people. And as a result, he's not as corporate as Jason Tatum. He's not as corporate as these guys. You think LeBron's going to wade into some of the issues that Jaylen Brown has waded into? No. I mean, Michael Jordan said it. Republicans buy shoes too. And, Jaylen Brown doesn't want to sell shoes to Republicans or Democrats for that matter. That's not necessarily his thing. And you know what? I got to tip my cap. I mean, he's not, Jason Tatum, he wants to sell shoes to Republicans and Democrats, man. He does. He does. That's not who Jaylen Brown is. And it cost him in this scenario. And this is a scenario where it shouldn't have cost him. And that he has every right to be pissed about. If he wants to complain about not having a shoe deal, well, then don't rip Nike. All right, dude, don't rip Nike. But I don't necessarily think he's complaining about not having a shoe deal. I think he's complaining about not being on the U.S. Olympic basketball team, which shouldn't have anything to do with Nike. But apparently it does. And because he waded into a battle that you could argue that he, hey, more power to you for, waging the war against the man and, saying, I don't need your endorsement. I don't need your resources. Screw you. I'm fine. Hey, a lot of guys wouldn't do that. Most people wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm not principled enough. Jesus, I bought Boeing stock. You think I'm principled? You got some whistleblowers out there? I don't want to hear from them. No, keep that stock price going up, baby. No, I'm not principled one bit. Nope, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am principled. Jaylen Brown is, though. He is. But that shouldn't have cost him a spot on the U.S. Olympic team. It should cost him a shoe deal, but it shouldn't cost him a spot on the Olympic team. That's BS, and he has every right to be pissed about that. 617-779-0985. Let's go to Joe in Maine. Hey, Joe.
A couple summers ago, we talked a lot. I was kind of on the, I get, what do you call it now? Not a hot streak, but a heat wave when Bobby Dahlback was having his moment in life,
Yes.
And since he bats right, I'm only bringing him up because what are your thoughts? Because it's so left-handed. I was just looking at a bunch of stats, Dominic, and they've got, people playing out of position as well, even tonight at first base. And Tristan Casas seems way behind on his rehab.
Yes.
Way behind. He was on a 60-day. Now he's at almost 90 days. It was retroactive to April and not coming back. What are your thoughts on the first base production?
Yeah, I worry about Casas coming back, Joe. I do. Coming back from a rib cartilage injury. Let's not make any assumptions that Casas is going to be an impact player when he comes back. Who the hell knows with an injury as rare and as weird as that? So yes, they need a right-handed hitter who could play some first base in the event that Casas doesn't give you something. So, a role player, Justin Turner. isn't having a great year, but he feels like a fit. I would make the argument that you should be aggressive and trade for Vlad Guerrero Jr. because he's going to help you this year. He's under contract for the next year and a half. And between, you put him in between, say, next year, Devers, Guerrero, Casas, that's a pretty good 3-4-5. That's a really good 3-4-5 for this year if Casas comes back healthy and years to come. And if Casas doesn't come back healthy this year, you've addressed it in a significant way. But yes, first base DH, right-handed first base DH with power, undeniably the Red Sox biggest or second biggest need. I would argue maybe second biggest at this point, given I saw Cooper Criswell get kicked around the ballpark tonight. 5-1 Kansas City in the fourth over at Fenway. How about Cameron in Bridgewater? Hey, Cameron.
Hello. Hi. I just had to take on Jaylen Brown. I was just saying about the Team USA snub. I mean, when you're looking at it from a Kawhi standpoint, I mean, when he's 6'7", 225, Kawhi Leonard, and he's a defender like that, Jaylen Brown is 6'6" and about the same weight. Yep. And when he has the defensive standpoint like he does and the offensive game like he does with the finals MVP and everything, I just think it's a complete disrespect to put Derek White in. Respect to Derek White and everything, but I just don't think it was a good decision.
No. And the argument, yes, I do want to hear from you at 617-779-0985. All are welcome here. Safe space on the Matt McCarthy program and for Joe Murray tonight. But I think it's completely asinine to suggest that this decision was made based on fit. That the fit, Derek White, fit the team. You're replacing Kawhi Leonard with Jaylen Brown. You're not replacing Kawhi Leonard with Derek White. And I love Derek White, and if you want to make the argument that he should be the 12th guy on the team, yeah, okay. Sure, not over Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown should have been there over Derek White and Tyrese Halliburton and, Booker, and he should be there. He's one of the 12 best players on planet Earth right now. Forget in America. On planet Earth, and he's not on the team, yeah, he has every right to feel snubbed. And he was snubbed. Problem is, by going public with it in the way that he did has created an issue for the Celtics and Derek White moving forward. This should have been a Team USA thing. Now it's a Celtics thing. 617-779, we continue. I should finish the phone number. 617-779-0985. You know the number. Who doesn't know the number? Is there anybody in Boston who doesn't know the number? At this point? I mean, if you listen to this station...
Yeah, you know it.
You know the number. That's a radio crutch thing. Oh, always give out the number. Yeah, okay. Would you like it again? 617-779-0985. And I generally do that if I have an open phone line, which I do right now. I have 2 open phone lines right now, so grab it. It's a good opportunity to do so. Lines have been hard to come by tonight, which is a good thing on a Friday night. Are you kidding me? I'll kick back and relax. I'll just mow through phone calls all night long. I am not above that. What do you want me to come in here and monologue all night long? Some guys in this business would do that. I can think of a few. That is not my style. We continue with you next. It's McCarthy in for Joe.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, summer's here, so transform your home into a summer oasis with Rodenizer Home Services. From patio lighting to gas grill, fireplace, and hot tub hookups. Their local experts also install home generators for those summer storm power outages. Visit Rodenizer.com and make your summer epic.
Ground level storage containers, road trailers, or mobile offices. Don't get stressed, get Eagle. Just call Eagle Leasing at 1-800-GET-EAGLE or get a quote at eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Fly higher with careers that inspire and join the Swissport team at Boston Logan Airport. Swissport is...
won't do this to the extent that he should. Even though, I mean, he is the man. We were just doing some Goodfellas references in the back. Joe does not shine shoes no more. He does not. Joe's ratings are incredible. These numbers, Jeff, did you see them when they came out?
It's insane. I love it. Nobody more deserving.
Couldn't agree more. Joe Murray, that's our guy. That's everybody's guy here, and there won't be a single person at the station who doesn't love that guy. And his ratings are ridiculous. So thanks to all the people out there, I'm filling in for Joe, and trust me, I'm not doing what Joe's doing. His numbers with 18 to 49 in particular, the kids, the young people, love Joe. That's the next star in the business, if he hasn't even reached it already. Incredible numbers. And yes, Bruins, Celtics playoffs, you name it. I'm telling you, if you're a radio nerd, do a deep dive into Joe Murray's 18 to 49 numbers. Every young person in this town is listening to Joe Murray. So congratulations to Joe, and a thanks to you on behalf of Joe. I know he did a little of this, like the thank you. No, seriously. Joe's numbers are absurd. Absurd. Congratulations. Bravo, Joe Murray. What a book. What a book for Joe Murray. What a book for the station. Seriously. Thank you. Much appreciated. Not that I should be the one thanking you, but everybody else. Wow. Incredible numbers again. Another amazing ratings period. And Joe at night, I went right to those 18 to 49 numbers. Wow. It's not necessary. We target 25 to 54. But 18 to 49, the up-and-coming ones, the young ones, the youngins, Joe Murray corners the market on young people. Young people love Joe. Everybody loves Joe. You love Joe. I love Joe. We all love Joe. To you at 617-779-0985. We love Joe in Pawtucket. Hi, Joe.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing all right today. I'm wondering, did a lot of people forget that Jaylen Brown didn't really have a left hand until this year?
Yeah, he got way better.
We were criticizing Jaylen Brown all last season about not improving his left-handed dribble. And to me, Team USA needs ball handlers. They don't need more scorers. And, the defensive thing, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, it kind of washes itself out between Derek White and Jaylen Brown. So I kind of feel like I'm missing something here. I feel like Derek White fits this USA team a little bit better than Jaylen Brown, even though the argument should be there 100%.
Yeah, I would say Jaylen Brown should have been there before. And to your point, if you were talking about a year ago, no. Jaylen Brown was not worthy of it. But right now, he is one of the 12 best basketball players on earth, and you're telling me that there isn't a spot for that guy on Team USA? That I just disagree with. If you want to make a separate argument that Derek White should be there because they do need ball handlers and he's a shot blocker, I'll listen to that argument. It's not just about putting the best 12 players on the floor not on the floor at the same time, but in the locker room. It's not about just taking the best 12 and building a fantasy basketball team. Yeah, I'll listen to you on that. I would agree with that. I would also argue that Jaylen Brown should be there over 4 or 5 guys on the team. And it's obvious that either the team didn't want him or that Nike didn't want him. You can't make an argument that Jaylen Brown doesn't belong on the team. I have a hard time getting there. I have a hard time going there. But here we are. And that's a story, because now it's become a story because on the day that Derek White gets named to the team in place of Kawhi Leonard, who's much more in the Jaylen Brown mold than the Derek White mold, it turns out they didn't want Jaylen Brown. No, this is about them not wanting Jaylen Brown. It's not about them wanting Derek White. Rajib in California. Hey, Rajib.
Hey, how you doing, Matt?
What's up?
Is this the first Olympics where you have Nike or something having so much of a say? We're assuming, right, that Nike is the reason that Jaylen Brown's not on it, because I don't remember it. I thought it's always about putting the best team and the best players out there to bring home the gold, right, and not about politics. Aside from back when Jordan had a beef with Isaiah, but has this been the case other times? Because I thought it was always just about outfitting the team and then just choosing the best players.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way it works, unfortunately. No, it's the way it should work, right? It should be a meritocracy. if we're talking about the ideals of the Olympics and representing your country and, putting the best 12 out there, the best 12 basketball players born in the United States of America to represent our country at the Olympics to prove our basketball dominance, in the spirit of competition and nations getting together under the Olympic flag and the rings and all that. Nope. That's not the way it works ever. The spirit of the Olympic stuff, oh, please. Nope. It's as corporate as it gets. We get an email I don't even know if I can say the O word. Did you get that email, Jeff?
Which email?
Can we say the O word? Or does the IOC, the International O Committee, I think they're like limitations. They try to limit how we use the word.
Is this like the Super Bowl with the NFL?
Yes.
It's such a joke.
So, yeah, but Nike has can I even say the word Olympic? Can I do that?
$10.
No, seriously, have we gotten the station in trouble for the last 3 days by talking about the United States men's basketball team playing in the Tournament of Nations coming up in Paris? Do I have to big tournament this stuff? Oh, it's the big game coming up on Sunday. Like the NFL, suing churches and grandmothers for hosting Super Bowl parties? What? You better watch out. The IOC is going to come for us, man. 617-779-0985. That's not what the Tournament of Nations is about. I'm just going to be careful. Me, of all people, I probably should not try to get the station in trouble. Nope. The Tournament of Nations. It's not about picking the best 12. It's not. And you shouldn't be surprised that corporate politics play a role in it. Look at the opening ceremonies if you watch it. It's all about, is it Ralph Lauren outfitting Team USA?
Ralph Lauren.
Lauren, yes.
Then you just got the station in trouble there.
Right. Did I mention a corporate sponsor of Team? Can I say Team USA?
I'll have to check.
Double check on that for me, please. A band of American athletes going to compete the highest ideals in a tournament of international competition and spectacle and cooperation. And for 3 weeks of this sporting event, this sporting spectacle, the world comes together and celebrates. And wars and political strife stop. Nope. The Olympics is political as it gets, man. The Olympics. Let's not pretend like there's anything idyllic about it. Do some research on anything that's ever happened in the Olympics. Ever. 1968? Raising your hand? No, it's, oh, wow. How could they bring politics into the Olympics? Oh, there isn't all the time? Every single time? Every single Olympics without fail? It's not about putting the best 12 together. It's about who wants it from a corporate standpoint. Why do you think NBC pays billions of dollars to air the Olympics? It's not necessarily for people like you and me either. It's more the sports casuals. It has far more to do with corporate politics and corporate whatever than you could ever imagine. Please. 617-779-0985. What do we got going on here tonight? We got Summer League basketball. Is this Bronny out here? Is that why they keep focusing on him? Is that Bronny's boy, Bronny? I saw J.J. Redick on this broadcast earlier. That's all, But no, it's all about finding the most qualified person. Have you ever paid attention to the way the world works? Jaylen Brown. No, well, he must not be the most qualified person for the team because that's why they didn't pick him. Have you looked to see who's coaching the Los Angeles Lakers? Nepotism, corruption, buddy stuff. It exists in sports. No matter sponsorships, making decisions, corporate, you name it. This exists all over the place. Just look anywhere. No, but, Steve Belichick, right? Every Belichick under the sun working for the Patriots. There's no nepotism at all in sports, right? Or in anywhere in life. It's not just sports, man. It's not just sports. 617-779-0985. Let's get a quick update on the Sports Hub headlines, and then let's truly open it up to whatever you want. We've been Red Sox and Celtics up until this point. We can add some Patriots thoughts on the board, Bruins on the board as well for you. We continue. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox trailing the Royals 5-1 over at Fenway Park. Cooper Criswell still on the mound, eating some innings. Yep, that's what we have to say about this one. Cam Boozer called up today because Justin Slayton went on the injured list with elbow inflammation. NBA news tonight, Jalen Brunson signing a 4-year, $156 million contract extension with the Knicks. Celtics group opponents for the in-season tournament been announced. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Washington. Bruins signing defensemen Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to two-way contracts today for the upcoming season. And the men's final is set at Wimbledon. Carlos Alcaraz against Novak Djokovic. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-thru oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Raynham, Reading, and Braintree. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening.
We're having a good time. I see you on the YouTube chat as well. Always good to get involved in the YouTube chat. I'm probably not as good as chatting as Joe Murray is, because Joe Murray is... Listen, I'm a little ADD. Joe Murray is very ADD. Side of the room. Now, I want to see Jimmy and the Calhoun crew.
Yeah, I've seen Andy a few times. I see Sarge hanging over the banister.
Of course he is. Hey! We love Sarge. We love those guys. Maybe we'll get them on the ride back. We'll put the bat signal out. We'll have them call in and give us an update. And then see how SmackDown went in Worcester tonight. Hear about the Mercantile and hear what they did out there. Good food town. I'm going to do a little Joe Murray thing here for you. Good food town. Real good food town. Shrewsbury Street, good scene.
I've heard good things.
Boynton, excellent. Sole proprietor, top notch. One of the better places to go for seafood in the state. You wouldn't say Worcester? You go to Worcester. You get yourself a good seafood meal. Go to Seoul. You tell them McCarthy sent you. Can't recommend it enough. Good restaurant scene. Good bar and restaurant scene in Worcester. Worcester ain't half bad. Yeah, Polar Park, all that. That jet stream. Good takes. Good takes out in Worcester. 617-779-0985. Good takes in Taunton, too. It's where Rico is tonight. What's up, Rico?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm calling in from Taunton.
Hell yeah, man. Down in my neck of the woods.
Oh, nice. I don't know if you guys been on your phone, but Jaylen been on Twitter. He's been on Twitter saying that he's been verifying that Anthony Edwards is the number one option. It just recently happened. He just posted it recently. So I think we got to trade him.
You think?
I think we got to trade him.
So wait a minute. Walk me through again, because I really have not been. So on Twitter, he's been saying something about Anthony Edwards?
Yes, he said Anthony Edwards is the number one option on that team. He just posted it recently. It's all over Twitter right now. He's going nuts. We got to trade him. We have to. So it's not going to work out.
All right. I went to Jaylen Brown's Twitter handle. I don't see anything about him saying Anthony Edwards is the number one option. So, but what I think Rico's getting to is he's doing that in response to Jason Tatum's guy ending up on the team, and Jason Tatum not exactly being full-throated in saying that Jaylen Brown should be on the Olympic team.
So this is on Instagram, not Twitter.
Instagram. What's he saying? Can you give me some of the samplings there, Jeff?
All it is which is Legion Hoops tweeted, not tweeted, but they posted on Instagram, Jaylen Brown to Anthony Edwards on Instagram, number one option, 100%. And then it just shows the comment that Jaylen Brown made, number one option, 100%.
When can I get a timestamp on that?
4:47 p.m. earlier today.
So Rico, what Rico's getting into here.
Yeah, so it's Anthony Edwards' actual Instagram account, and Jaylen commented on it.
And he said, you're the number one option on that team. Okay. So is that just Jaylen Brown supporting one of his guys? Or is that Jaylen Brown saying, you're better than Jason Tatum? Which, by the way, was certainly a discussion and was a huge national and local talking point that Anthony Edwards has surpassed Jason Tatum. So is Jaylen Brown adding fuel to the fire because Jason Tatum did not exactly do anything in his power to support Jaylen Brown? And trust me, if Jason Tatum said, put Jaylen Brown on this team, Jaylen Brown would have been on that team.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, Tatum posted a picture of him with the trophy, himself with the trophy, and Jaylen commented greatest of all time underneath it. So, I mean, he's working everybody.
Yeah. I don't 100% buy in on you have to try. I'm just saying I can see how people would interpret it that way. I'm not saying that I do, but I could see how people would interpret it that way. Because I mean, Jeff, you've done plenty of Celtic shows with me over the years. How often have I really hammered the Brown and Tatum angle? I really
not
haven't.
Much.
I really haven't. I'm not. I think part of it is made up. I do. Like the whole Brown and Tatum, they don't like each other. I certainly didn't shy away from, can Brown and Tatum play together? That's a different thing. Do they like each other and can they play together? And the first words out of Jaylen Brown's mouth after winning winning NBA Finals MVP is said, "I couldn't have done this without my partner in crime, Jason Tatum," which I thought was a real nice tip of the cap moment. But man, I mean, I think that call does speak to, the fact that people are going to look for any reason that this is not going to work out between Brown and Tatum. I'm not quite ready to go there. I don't think there are as many issues between those guys as you would think. What I do think now is there could be issues between Brown and Derek White. And does that then create issues between Brown and Tatum because Derek White is Tatum's guy? Because Jaylen Brown indirectly, not directly, indirectly, kind of crapped all over Derek White by saying, "Oh, this is how it's going to be, huh? All right, Nike, you're going to keep me off this team in favor of that guy?" And even though he might not have been thinking in favor of that guy, that's the way people are going to interpret it. How could you not interpret it that way? How is there not, again, part of that element? I'm not saying Jaylen Brown's a bad teammate. I don't believe that. But he was a bad teammate by posting that the other night. And he's not helping anything by getting in Instagram comments right now, because then people are going to react saying he's doing this to pump up Anthony Edwards because everybody thought Anthony Edwards is better than Jason Tatum, and he's mad at Jason Tatum because Derek White is Jason Tatum's guy, and Derek White made the team over him, and it was politics on the team. If Jason Tatum really wanted Jaylen Brown, that he would have been there, which, by the way, I do believe. And, Nike got involved in all that stuff. This is a mess. It's a mess. And it'd be one thing if it were just a USA basketball mess. I could put that aside. But it's going to become a Celtics mess. And that's something I would like to avoid. 617-779-0985. Let's sneak in one more before we hit an in or out tonight. Ed in Boston. Hey, Ed.
Hey, Matt. I think you're kind of being a prisoner of the moment. I think if someone were to ask you at the start of the playoffs this year, is Jaylen Brown definitely a top 12 player? I don't know if you would have said he is. And I guess the second part is I have no idea why you think that Jason Tatum wanting Jaylen Brown on the team would have made that happen. I'm not so sure about that.
Okay. He does not have the pull that LeBron does, but no doubt star players, true star players, have some pull. But also, if you had told me a week ago that Nike had a lot to say in who's on the U.S. men's basketball team, I would have said, okay, well, maybe, but I can't say I've ever really thought about that. So I am reacting to new information. You want to say that we can't definitively prove that Jason Tatum has pull? Yeah, that's probably more fair. But it certainly seems that Nike has pull. And Jaylen Brown is implying that there are a lot of forces at play here based on his comments. Jeff, I'm sorry to spring this on you, but again, in carts, Jaylen Brown at the ESPYs yesterday talking about how the real story is gonna come out on this. I think it's one day I'll tell the story in carts. Jaylen Brown.
How does it feel to have support from so many NBA fans that think that you should be on Team USA?
It feels great to have support, and one day I'll share my story. People don't have all the information in the world that they would like to know. It just feels great to be here at the ESPYs and to be holding up to Larry O'Brien.
So, a couple of things. If you're not going to then come out in the moment and tell the story, that does open it up to speculation. That does open it up to callers calling in and saying, oh, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum has say in who's on the team, and that's why his best friend on the Celtics, as we're led to believe, is on the U.S. men's national team, and Jaylen Brown is not. Did Jason Tatum have any role or play any role in getting Derek White on the team? I don't think that's an unreasonable assumption. Now, we all know what happens when we assume, but that's all we're left to do. Because Jaylen Brown has put it out there that he's upset about this. He's basically implied that Nike and other forces have stuff to do with this. And, oh no, one day I'll tell my story. Well, by doing all that, now you create speculation amongst us, among fans, among everybody. And I don't think it's unreasonable for us to end up at certain places. 617-779-0985. We've done basically 2 hours on sports here. Not just 2 hours on sports on the Joe Murray Show. That would be 3 hours of sports for me. And I did the baseball hour tonight because nobody else wants to work Friday, which Can't say I blame them. You got somebody like me who's going to show up. You say, yeah, sure. You guy? Yeah, you can take 5 hours on a Friday night. Why the hell not? Nobody else is going to do it. Hey, look. We found this dope. Look at this guy.
Milliken's off traveling the world.
Milliken, of all people. I come in today thinking, well, at least I got Milliken for the first hour. First thing I do, I log on to Twitter and I see a video of Milliken arriving to Logan.
That video's so funny.
Arriving to Logan looking like he's just swam across Boston Harbor to get there. He's all sweaty. He's all wet. He almost missed his flight with Carabas to Texas. Milliken, of all people, who you'll be very surprised, I think, was like, did he say he's never been on a plane before? He's only been on a plane once or something like that.
I don't know. I wasn't listening, but man, that's crazy. It doesn't surprise me, actually.
No, it doesn't surprise me one bit. That's a very Tyler Milliken thing. Like a plane? What's that? What is
Can you play baseball on a plane?
Right. Oh, that's how the players get from city to city, which Milliken has, once he proved, cannot find any city on a map because he has no idea where the teams play. Like, doesn't know where Baltimore is, has like no idea. It's like, yeah, the Red Sox go there twice a year, man. Used to be 3 times. Couldn't find it on a map. Couldn't find anything on a map. That is still one of the funniest videos in the history of the Sports Hub, is making Milliken write down where all 30 teams are on a map. A map of the United States. Figure it out, pal. Which really is I hate to crap on you. Like, that has to be a reflection of that. Education starts in the home, right? But the Brockton school system should probably not a great look. Not a great look for public education around here. But I don't think Milliken is any different in his generation. Name me a capital. I can name all 50. Thank you very much to my grandfather. And where in the world and where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego? They don't make those games anymore. That's a problem. Those are always the best days in school. When you broke out Oregon Trail and Carmen Sandiego, man.
It was like Number Munchers or something like that, too. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember Number Muncher. I wasn't into math. Numbers, not my thing. Not a math guy.
Me neither. I just remember playing that game. If I had the choice, it was Oregon Trail all day.
Anybody who didn't pick Oregon Trail, you had to really... You have to look at that person differently. Oregon Trail. All-time great game. Every once in a while, I'll try and find the old Oregon Trail somewhere online. It's a good time.
I think it's like archive.org. You can find all sorts of old computer games, and Oregon Trail is one of them.
Man, you don't want to die of dysentery, man.
No, that's terrible.
You don't want to do that. Dysentery, that's a bad way to go. There are a lot of bad ways to go. Dysentery, bad way to go. Don't want to do that. Nope. More of your dysentery talk next with In or Out coming your way. McCarthy in for Joe.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
No, without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
Because it really did have like the final day of a group stage game in an international soccer tournament, and I'm a soccer guy. I don't really care what you call it. I mean, NBA Cup, though, is it better than the IST? It's probably better than the IST, right?
The IST sounds like a sexually transmitted disease.
Yes, it does. So how'd you get IST, dude? Hey, let me tell you, Jeff.
I remember that chick.
Man, wow. I told you she was dirty, Jeff. I don't know. Now Jeff's got IST, man. What Jeff isn't telling you. I want to get that checked out, man. Could be where to clear that thing out.
Oh, yeah.
It's got IST
back. Cream.
All right, let's see it.
Yeah, let's switch forward.
Once we start talking about cream, we're not in the safe harbor yet. Nope. We got an hour to go, man. We got an hour to go.
All right, let's go.
Out on cream, out on the NBA Cup.
Let's go over to baseball. This phenom in Pittsburgh that throws
Skeens.
100 miles an hour fastball. He's 21, right?
Yeah,
this
filthy.
Kid's got the world by the balls.
Yes, he does.
Had a no-hitter through 7, and they pulled him. Of course, like they've been doing now for these kids. Are you in or out on pulling Skeens at 99 pitches?
I'm so beyond out on that. Again, as I said earlier tonight on the baseball hour, I believe it was. It's been a little while here. 15 years in jail with hard labor. Another 10 years in prison after the hard labor ends, just so you think about it. I have a quick update, then right back with you.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, the only place to hear the local call of the game is right here. WBC-FM at HD Boston. Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Not going so well for the Red Sox tonight over at Fenway Park. They trail the Royals 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Justin Slayton heads to the injured list with elbow inflammation. Cam Boozer is up from Worcester. Paul Skeens starting the All-Star game for the National League a day after he was pulled from a no-hitter. Jalen Brunson signing a 4-year contract extension with the Knicks, $156 million. Bruins signing defenseman Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to 2-way contracts. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for Low.
Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
This is a new one in the Jeff Williams repertoire. Good ad. Good ad. And I must say, one of the all-time, you want a real nerd take? Here's a nerd take. McCarthy in for Joe. Something big is happening in the SmackDown. I see everybody's reacting and everybody's getting excited. And sure, the Calhoun crew is very excited about that. One of the great Weird Al Yankovic songs of all time. Amish Paradise. Anytime I hear that, I say, is this Coolio or is this Weird Al? When was the last time he did anything? Check that out. Here he puts on a good show. 617-779-0985. To you on YouTube chat as well. I'll open it up to you. Given that Jeff just mentioned the new NCAA football game. Best sports video games of all time. I'll open that up to you. There's a good summer topic. Best sports video games of all time. I'll put a few out there for you. Madden 05. Sorry. Madden 04. And frankly, Madden 05 was really good too. Madden 04, the one with Michael Vick on the cover, still holds up. May or may not have hosted a Madden 04 tournament this past winter at McCarthy Manor. It was very popular. Game still holds up. That was a worthy endeavor. Madden 04. I would say that's probably, I'm going to say that's the greatest sports video game of all time. MVP Baseball 2005, up there. Ken Griffey Jr. For Super Nintendo and for Nintendo 64. Griffey Jr. was on Super Nintendo, I think.
Triple Play 99, very underrated game.
Or whatever. What was the video store? I'm a kid. Downtown Winchester. Somebody knows this. Somebody knows this, what the video store was called. It was next to Wise Old Owl and Brugger's Bagels. Somebody out there knows what that video store was called. And I went there every Friday night, and I rented something like Triple Play Baseball or what? I mean, I can't remember all the games I rented. From whatever that video store was called. And that plaza off the Rotary by Winchester Drug there. Somebody out there knows it. Tweet at me, at Matt McCarthy 98.5. Damn it. I hate when I can't remember stuff like that. What are we getting? Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12 where you could play Augusta?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you played Augusta in tournament mode, so I don't know if you're familiar with the Tiger Woods golf games.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I played it years ago.
Okay, so you had you could adjust the spin of the ball in midair and all that stuff. You can't do that in Augusta. It makes it 10 times harder, and I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. They had like Tiger Vision, right? I remember that.
There was Tiger Vision, then there was like Tiger Boom, like Boost. You just tattoo the ball like 500 yards.
Dude, I loved those games. I definitely rented at least one of the Tiger Woods games. I don't think we ever owned any of the Tiger. No, we didn't. But I definitely rented it once. Or my buddy had it or whatever, and I definitely remember like taking a spin. I did enjoy the Tiger Woods games. I recently played one of the Tiger Woods or whatever it is now.
It's now the 2K series.
Okay, so it's golf, 2K, is it PGA Tour or whatever. Rory was on the cover, I think.
Well, Rory had the game. He took it over from Tiger Woods back. I couldn't even tell you how far back it was.
Yeah.
But now 2K owns it. But
what does Rory Vision look like on a putt in the 2K series? What does Rory Vision look like on that? Gagging. Do they make gagging sound effects?
It just cups out.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Rory Vision. It's straight on. It's right there. And then it automatically gets pushed to the right. I'm over it. Being a Rory guy, I'm over it. I bet him like an idiot again. Definitely not affecting me still. Terrace checks in All-Star Baseball 99, NBA Live 2000, some of the great sports video games of all time. Richard and Wellesley.
Video Horizons?
Video Horizons, Richard. Thank you.
You're the best, by the way.
All right.
You're the best takes.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. I'm going to take it that you were a Winchester guy.
Medford.
Medford. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Yes. I don't really claim to be a Winchester guy. I mean, do you really, let's be honest. And anybody from Winchester could admit this. Do you really want to admit that you're a Winchester guy? I spent 5 years of my childhood there, all right? It wasn't, trust me, it did not belong there. Video Horizons. Pat and Franklin with a take that I do need to get to. Hi, Pat.
Matt, I love you, buddy.
Thanks, Pat. I love you, too.
But listen, let me tell you something. As a Rust Belt guy, born in Buffalo, moved here in 1975. Milwaukee is an underrated city. It's awesome. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Marquette's there. There's great steakhouses there. However, one other comment I want to make to you is this. If you don't put Pitfall in the greatest games on any platform ever, you're missing out, man, because I have my 10-year-old daughters. I'm 52.
Uh-huh.
They play Pitfall religiously on the Atari 8 Retro because Pitfall is the greatest game ever.
Pat, I have to admit, I have never played Pitfall. But I'm going to take your word for it, and I'm going to give it a shot. The Milwaukee thing, I can't go there. I will bridge the gap. I will say, yes, I will happily try Pitfall. No doubt. I can't go there in Milwaukee. I'm sorry. I just can't. Madison, you want to talk about great town. Madison. You're sending me to Wisconsin? I'm going to Madison. Milwaukee, no.
Come to Milwaukee often? Well,
I'm a regular visitor here, but Milwaukee has certainly had its share of visitors. The French missionaries and explorers were coming here as early as the late 1600s to trade with the Native Americans.
In fact, isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Miliwake, which is Algonquin for the good land.
I was not aware of that.
And now you know. Good pull there, Jeff. We continue. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Felger here. Whether you're headed north to the lakes and mountains or down to the Cape and Islands, grab an iced tea or...
Full-time job.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I mean, I should be a city planner.
Oh, okay.
I should be. And obviously the conversation we've had about where we're going to put the Celtics arena. I've waded deep into those conversations, and obviously I have the best opinions and the best approaches because, I'm me. So, I mean, obviously it's I've got it all figured out. But I am a city planner. The most important thing we got to do, Jeff, if we're going to build a new arena, we got to move people. All right? We got to move some people. I need rapid transit. Everybody said, oh, you just build the Celtics arena over in Everett, right? That is earmarked, my friend. That is taken care of. Nope, don't have that land anymore. Because the New England Revolution are one step closer to building a new stadium of its own in Everett after the state Senate approved a bill containing details that would open a pathway to construction. And I just want to say this is excellent news for the Revs. It is. They desperately need their own stadium. I think it's good news for us. I think it's good news for Jeff, you're a concert goer. Would you like another 20,000-seat venue to see concerts in?
Absolutely.
Great Woods sounds amazing. The sound down there is impeccable at Great Woods. It's a problem getting out there, man. It's a problem getting out of there.
I really can't think of the last time I went to Great Woods, and I'm going there at least 3 times this summer, so I'm sure after the first time I'm going to be like, I hate this place.
Every time I sit in that parking lot, and I live close to there, I'm like, can I just cut through the woods? Can I just go home?
My buddy went and saw Alanis there, was it Tuesday, I believe, and he goes, yeah, we went in the free parking. I didn't get home till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, nope. Getting out of Great Woods is a problem. It's a problem. Here's the problem with this Revs location, though. Try getting there. Try it. Jeff, you live north of town. Try getting there. How do you get there? How are you going to do it? You tell me, North Shore guy over there, how are you going to do it? You got an answer for me?
Absolutely not, because it's tough for me to get into the city anyway when I'm north. It's terrible.
Yep. How do you get to Encore, Jeff? Have you gone to Encore?
Once.
How is it getting there?
It's terrible.
Not good.
I drive through there a lot for work. It's a bleep show.
Mm-hmm. And now we're going to make it worse with the stadium? Don't get me wrong. It's better for the Revs. They need a stadium. This is better than playing in Foxborough. I get that. City planner Matt McCarthy, we got to move people. Jeff, we're not moving enough people. Nobody's moving over there. Orange line, not close enough. Not close enough. So city planner Matt McCarthy would have found another spot. Again, because that's so easy to do in Boston. The Gillette World Shaving Headquarters, by the way. That's where you should put the new Celtics arena now that we've got our Revs arena taken care of in Everett. And enjoy your traffic going to the Revs game when you're also trying to go to Encore. And enjoy your traffic. But once again, city planner Matt McCarthy has this for news here, Jeff. Headline: State secures $1 billion more in federal funding to replace Cape Cod bridges. This is a big one. This is a big one right here. You want to talk about one of the most important economic initiatives we have? Those bridges are old, man. If you've ever traveled over those bridges, you say, gee, this is not built for now. Not built for now.
I don't think I've ever traveled them without a lane being inoperable.
Right, because the bridges are 100 years old.
Yes.
They're doing this wrong, though. And here's why. Again, city planner Matt McCarthy, we got to move people. Jeff, I move people. I make people move. They're replacing the Sagamore Bridge. Nope. Wrong move. You need to build a new one next to it. And you need to keep the Sagamore for car traffic only and connect the Sagamore Bridge to Cranberry Highway on the other side, in Bourne, and connect it to Scenic Highway on the mainland side. And you need to keep that as a local-only bridge. Local traffic, Route 3 to Route 6. No on, no off there. You're flying over. Oh, no. I've heard about a Cape Cod, the Sagamore flyover when they got rid of the rotary there. That was step 1. Step 2, Route 3 to Route 6. You're not getting off. You can get off tell you what, you can get off onto Scenic Highway off of Route 3. You're not merging. There's no merging that's happening on the Cape side there. You're on it. That's what we need to do. City planner Matt McCarthy. You keep the Sagamore Bridge as it is. You build the new one next to it. And you just have that be a local bridge. Essentially the 6A bridge. Instead of the Route 6 bridge, the 6A bridge. Is it that hard? Did I just fix your summer, Jeff? Well, you don't go down to the Cape.
I don't go near the Cape.
If you go down the Cape, South Shore, and you sit in that traffic, the traffic exists for a couple of primary reasons. It's a 2-lane bridge in each direction that was not built for this day and age. It's not built for your SUV or whatever it is. It's not built for that. And the other problem is everybody coming up Route 6A comes up Cranberry Highway there. Not the Cranberry Highway in Wareham. Cranberry Highway on that side. And the merge happens at the Christmas tree shops, and that's a problem. We got to eliminate that. We got to move people, Jeff. We're moving people.
So I do not go to the Cape for pleasure. I was going there for work all last summer, and yeah, that's when I was like, I'm never coming back down here if I don't have to.
Did I just fix your problem, though?
Yeah.
Just straight through. You're flying over Route 3 to Route 6. No merges, nothing. You want to get off onto Scenic Highway on Route 3 southbound? That's fine. Cut over to the Bourne Bridge. Listen, I'm a city planner. I don't know how the hell to fix the Bourne Bridge. Sorry, you're screwed there. Sagamore Bridge, you keep that puppy there. You keep it there. Local traffic. You want to ban trucks from it so you don't have to worry about that bridge collapsing with trucks eventually? Sure, fine. 6A to Scenic Highway, local traffic only. There you go. No highway merges, nothing. I just fixed Cape Cod traffic. Just like that. It's too bad they don't listen to me. I'm telling you. Why are we spending money to demolish that bridge? You just build the new one right there. I got it figured out for you. Well, thank me later. Just let it serve Sagamore Beach. Let it serve that whole area, the old bridge. Just keep it up as a monument to a time gone by. And give me 3 lanes in each direction, wide, nice wide new bridge, Route 3 to Route 6. You're not merging. You're not getting off at the market basket. Nothing. That's for the locals. Just straight through onto Route 6, and then give me the bulldozer. I'll expand that thing to 3 lanes down to Orleans. I'll get that taken care of, too. I fixed your problems, people. I fixed your problems. 617-779-0985. The people on YouTube. McTakey for president, 2024. Yep. I agree. I'd get this done. I get things done, Jeff. 33 minutes I spent on that. I fixed your problems. You got the money for it. You got the money. I didn't get the money. But I can spend the money. I will build that bridge. Building bridges. It's what I do.
Making the Cape great again.
I have made the Cape great again. Or maybe just made it great. Was it ever great? I've worked down there. Wendy Northcross at the Cape Cod Chambers. Like, yes, say it's great. Say it's great. Yes, Wendy, it's great. It's great. I love the Cape. I was down there a few weeks ago. It was a delightful time. Sunday night on the Cape, nothing better than Sunday night. Nothing more overrated than a Saturday afternoon in the summer on the Cape. Nothing better than a Sunday night on the Cape. 617-779-0985. Let's get back into the Red Sox next. It's McCarthy here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Well, not a good night for the Sox over at Fenway Park. Cole Reagans was good. Cooper Criswell was not. Sox lose to the Royals 6-1. Reagan, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. I told you in the baseball hour he's good. He's really good. Cooper Criswell, not good. 5 runs on 8 hits over 6 innings pitched. Sox and Royals again tomorrow. Seth Lugo on the mound against Cutter Crawford. Celtics group opponents for the in-season tournament have been announced. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Washington. Bruins signing defenseman Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to 2-way contracts for the upcoming season. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Weymouth, Canton, Bedford, and Natick. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray tonight. Red Sox game just went final over at Fenway Park. First place in the city to talk about it is right here, 617-779-0985. Not a good night for the Sox. 6-1 loss. Biggest series of the year. Who would have thought it would have been Kansas City coming to Fenway Park right before the All-Star break, but now the Red Sox and the Royals are tied for the final wild card spot in the American League. As I said to start the baseball hour tonight, this is a massive series for the Sox because I feel like ownership, Sam Kennedy, Craig Breslow are probably going to look for any excuse to not invest in this team, which is why this series is so big. You know, if you win 2 out of 3, you'll be 2 up on the Royals entering the All-Star break a few weeks away from the trading deadline. And I just don't want to give Kennedy and Breslow and that crew any excuse not to add. Because say what you will, I mean, all right, so they're now 9 games above 500 and tied for a wild card spot. That is reason enough to add, and I don't necessarily think that the folks over on Jersey Street want to believe that. I think Alex Cora does, and I think the guys in that locker room believe it, but I don't know if Sam Kennedy and Craig Breslow believe it. But that's their fault if they don't believe it. It's not the players. It's their fault if they think this team isn't good enough because they were the ones who built it. Sam Kennedy, essentially decides on John Henry's behalf, I believe, how much to spend on the team at this point. And Craig Breslow is the one who built it. This team is better than I thought. It's better than they thought. It's better than everybody thought. And they need to adjust. And tonight was a perfect example of why the Red Sox do need to add at the deadline. Their biggest weaknesses were on display tonight. They need a pitcher, and they need an impact right-handed hitter. Cooper Criswell got a spot start coming up from Worcester. He was not good. Not good. 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks. 1 strikeout, 1 homer allowed. I was just in the zone all night, couldn't put anybody away. Cooper Criswell was not good tonight, and the Royals took advantage. Every time I looked up, there were runners on base. So you needed a starting pitcher. You need a starting pitcher. You can't have Cooper Criswell going out there every 5th day for you or trying to put it together with bullpen games or putting Josh Winkowski out there. It's not good enough. That's need number 1. And need number 2 is an impact right-handed hitter. Red Sox, according to Tyler Milliken, let me bring this up here, now 12-15 this year against left-handed starters. It's pretty easy to explain that one away. Their best right-handed hitter is Tyler O'Neill, who is a role player. He's not a number 3 hitter. Nope, Tyler O'Neill is a role player, and he is your best right-handed hitter. Not good enough. Now, if you go out and add an impact right-handed hitter, all of a sudden it's a little bit different. You're not that far away. You're not that far away from being significantly better than what you were tonight. But your biggest weaknesses and deficiencies were on display in this game tonight, in an important game tonight. This Royals team's fun. Cole Reagans is a stud. That guy is a stud. I said it, Jeff, you heard me before the show. Baseball hour tonight, I said, you watch this guy Reagans. He's a stud. I should have bet this game. Lefty going up against the Red Sox, bad matchup for the Red Sox, bad pitching matchup for the Red Sox. He went out there, Reagans went out there and shoved tonight. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. That guy is a stud. And, listen, you probably lost this game. Whether you had a better right-handed hitter tonight, you probably lose this game because Reagans is that good. But on an average night, against a pitcher who's not Cole Reagans, against a lefty who's not Cole Reagans, the Red Sox are not going to be competitive enough against left-handed pitching. And that's something you can fix. Kenley Jansen said it last week. He said, everybody knows what we need. We need a pitcher, and we need a right-handed hitter. Go out and do it, man. Go out and do it. And tonight's more proof why. And my concern is the Red Sox will use tonight as the excuse, you see why we shouldn't add? No, tonight's the reason why you should add. You're not that far off. I truly believe that. I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't believe in this team. Last 2 years, I made it clear I did not believe in those teams. I believe in this team. I do. You should believe in this team. They play a fun, energetic brand of baseball. And if you just give them a little bit of help, if you have a real right-handed hitter or not Cooper Criswell starting tonight, maybe it's a little bit different. So your thoughts on the Red Sox at 617-779-0985. First place in the city to talk about it. But back to you. Sam on the Bourne Bridge. I assume this means you have a plan to fix the Cape traffic, Sam?
No, I was just calling in to say I've lived in Wareham my whole life, and your plan is exactly what my whole family's been saying the whole time, the way to fix it, especially being right in front of the Cape, but not actually being on the Cape. We get all the traffic for no reason.
You sure
do.
do.
I just want to say your plan is absolutely perfect.
Sam, as a Wareham resident, you would understand that. That is the gateway. As a Carver resident who commuted to and from the Cape, yes, if you missed it, here's the plan. We got our money today for the Sagamore Bridge. They say, this is great. We can build a new Sagamore Bridge. We can tear this puppy down. Nope, that's not what you're doing. You're not tearing it down. Don't tear it down. The old Sagamore Bridge becomes the local bridge. 6A, Cranberry Highway to Scenic Highway. No Route 3, no Route 6, nothing. You got to cut that out. That's the problem. You got to cut it out. Route 3 to Route 6, fly it over. No stops, no merges, nothing. 3 lanes, up and over. You're on the Mid-Cape Highway. Boom. I just fixed your problems. Just fixed your problems. Thank God you have me. Alex and Gardner on the Red Sox. Hi, Alex.
Hey, man. I just want to do that starter for the Royals. That kid's amazing.
He's a stud, man. He's an absolute stud.
Good call on that. And what do you think about Rafaela's odds for Rookie of the Year?
Ooh, I haven't. So Alex, I'm going to tell you right now. I have not paid attention to Rookie of the Year stuff at all this year. Where is he in the odds right now?
He's plus 800, and then the Rangers kid, he's nasty. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I kind of want to take Rafaela though.
I mean, listen, I would not take any of my advice when it comes to gambling. That is first and foremost on there. But yes, Cedar Rafaela, I don't think he's going to win, Rookie of the Year. He's come on too late. I'd have to check in and see what Colton Cowser is doing too. I mean, Luis Heel is a rookie. Yeah, no, I would not. So right now, here are your odds. Wyatt Langford, Luis Heel, Colton Cowser, Cedar Rafaela. I would not make that bet. But that doesn't mean that Cedar Rafaela isn't improving and improving dramatically. And as we talked about in the baseball hour tonight, that play he made going into the hole last night at shortstop was really something. That was a really good play. He can give you gold glove defense at short, gold glove defense in center. He's not the world's best hitter, but he's got pop. He does some damage. And when he gets on, he can cause damage on the base paths because he's athletic. He can steal a bag. He's aggressive. Again, for a bottom of the order spark plug type of player, which is what he is. He's a spark plug player. Not sure if he can really hit, but spark plug player, better hitter than Jackie Bradley. With that type of defense and versatility, he's a good player. He's a good player, and he's one of the reasons you should start to believe in this team because he's gotten better. He's gotten better. How can you deny that? He deserves an investment around him. Tanner Houck deserves an investment around him. Connor Wong deserves an investment around him. And I just hope the Red Sox don't look at a night like tonight and say, see? Oh, yeah, come on, you can't add to this team. See? What? No, tonight's exactly the reason you do add. Would it have been different if two of your deficiencies had been addressed? Will it be different after the trading deadline if you get a starter to start for Criswell and you have a righty in the middle of your lineup who can help you on a night against Reagans? Maybe you were beyond help tonight because, yes, as the caller said, that guy's a stud. He's a freaking stud. And you should be afraid of the Royals because you saw their best tonight. They run. They've got good young pitching. Their starting pitching's good. And Bobby Witt Jr., whoo, baby. I had Red Sox fans last year who said they wouldn't trade Marcelo Meyer for Bobby Witt Jr. I remember those. I remember you. That was a big-time Bluminati trade. I threw that out there to the Bluminati, and they're like, well, how could you do that? You can't trade Marcelo Meyer for Bobby Witt. Yeah, Marcelo Meyer's not going to be Bobby Witt. He's not. That guy's a player. 617-779-0985. We'll be doing a lot of Red Sox, after the game here. I think that's what we should do. I think the Red Sox are the number one story in town right now. We should do that. But it's Friday night. It's the Joe Show. What do we normally do at 9:50 on a Friday night in the Joe Show? Or 9:50 any night on the Joe Show, Jeff?
We got some musings coming up.
We muse. Murray's Musings. Next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's musings. We'll get back to the Red Sox here shortly. Or maybe we won't. If you want to do the Murray's musings thing for the next hour and a half, it's up to the people. It really is. It's McCarthy in for Joe. I talk about what you want at 617-779-0985. Very simple question that I want to ask you, Jeff Williams, and to the people out there. Do you think you could land a plane?
Zero chance in hell.
Yeah, you're underestimating yourself.
No
You
way.
really are. You really are. I'm not saying, do it on your own. You would need, an air traffic controller, to walk you to. You would need, what, Captain Stryker on the ground to walk you through it. You got a guy on the ground. It's like, all right, Jeff, it'll be okay. Here's what you need to do.
I need Sully to tell me how to do it.
Yeah, you get Sully on the radio. You're telling me you can't do it?
I mean, I guess.
I've got you thinking now. I've got you thinking.
Yeah, no, you didn't really specify that I would have assistance.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying assistance in the cockpit. We're not going to go all autopilot there. You're especially not getting the type of assistance that happens in airplane when the autopilot dummy comes out. That's no. But there's somebody there to talk you through it. Do you think you could land a plane? I got into a huge argument with my friends this week. I could 100% land that puppy. You walk me through it. McCarthy, irrational take. Yeah, it's not all that irrational compared to the rest of human beings out there. Headline: nearly half of men think they could land a plane. Survey. This is from CNN. Almost half of men surveyed think they could land a plane. Only a third of Americans think they could land the plane, which means women out there, when they're asked, they bring it down. But men, you ask men, 50% of men out there think they could land a plane. Count me in as one of them. Yep, I could land a plane. Got into this whole thing with my friends this week. I was like, could you guys land a plane? They're like, no. I'm like, nah, you're not giving yourself enough credit. Jeff, you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Thinking that I could possibly actually maybe 5% do it is giving myself too much credit.
How'd you do in Flight Simulator as a kid? Did you have Flight Simulator?
I did. I have it on my Xbox right now too.
All right, I'm just going to admit right now, for in the interest of transparency, we had Flight Simulator on my dad's Macintosh computer. I think it was a Macintosh 2 or whatever it was. I mean, floppy disk. All right. Now, I was a kid, so I'm not saying I'm a natural at this thing. I crashed the plane every time. I literally never landed it once. But I was a child, right? I mean, what do you expect playing on, Macintosh floppy disk? You get me in a real cockpit now? Yeah, I could land it.
That was like me trying to land the plane in Top Gun on the original Nintendo system.
Did you ever land it?
Nope.
Okay.
Never.
All right, so maybe Jeff, but were you a child?
No, if I pulled it up on the computer right now and played it on an emulator, I probably couldn't land it today.
All right, so then you know what? I probably don't want you landing the plane. You can stay back there. But you know what? Hand up. They get on the PA. Excuse me. Does anybody here know how to land a plane? Or anybody want to give it a shot? I'd be like, yo, right here. Yep, I'll give it a shot. I'll get this thing on the ground, no problem. Gravity is your friend in this situation, Jeff. Gravity is your friend.
I mean, I'm a pretty good pilot in Grand Theft Auto.
Sure. Gives you a chance. You drive stick shift?
No.
Okay, so I don't want you landing the plane. I drive stick shift. I could land it. Telling you right now, I could land it. I think that's the determining factor. Then we got into, my friends and I, we got into this. All right, you got 12 people on board, whatever it is. Pilot, something happens. How are you determining which one of you is landing the plane? In order. What type of qualities are you looking for from a fellow man or woman to say, yep, you're going to be the person who's going to get this thing on the ground? Somebody said, I'm going to take the tech engineer. Yep, I would put that person towards the top of the list. Somebody said anybody with military experience. Yep. Heavy machinery, construction worker. Yeah. All right, sure. Probably towards the top of the list. Number one thing, can you drive a stick shift? That's what I'm going to ask my fellow man next to me. Man, woman, doesn't matter. We need to land this thing. We got 4 hands that go up. Yeah, I can do it. No problem. You drive a stick shift? Yes or no?
Do they even make manual cars anymore?
They sure do. I drive one. Put me in that cockpit. I can drive a real car. I don't want somebody in the cockpit who doesn't know what a clutch is. Out. Strong out in that scenario. 50% of men say they can land a plane. Can 50% of men drive a stick shift? I think not. I would probably be. Out of 10 people, let's say it's a small plane, whatever, 10 people, I'm saying I would be the most qualified person to land the plane. I would get that thing down. I'm not saying it won't be bumpy. I'd get it done. I would get it done. Mason checks in. He says, land successfully or unsuccessfully? He said unsuccessfully is still landing. Yes, gravity is your friend in that situation, Mason. Yeah. What do we got on this? Jeff in the car. Jeff says he could land a plane. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, I could definitely land a plane, man. I mean, a small one, a Cessna, I don't even know if I need any just let me feel it for a couple minutes. I think I could get it down.
Jeff,
now,
do you drive stick shift?
Oh, easy, yeah.
There
man.
we go. You see, you're my guy. You could get that Cessna down. Yeah, no problem.
If I had 30 minutes of FaceTime with a real pilot, I could get a jet down, I think.
A jet, like we're talking like a Boeing, an Airbus type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that I might need to ask a couple questions. You know, just a couple basics. Give me 10 minutes even.
Jeff,
I think I could get it down. It might be bumpy, but I think I could make it.
See, that's the type of guy I want to be sitting next to Jeff. I want to be sitting next to Jeff when they get over the loudspeaker and they say, folks, now don't panic, but there's been a little bit of an issue, and we don't have anybody who can land the plane. I want to be sitting next to Jeff, who's like, he doesn't even need the guy on radio. He says, just give me a FaceTime call with that guy. I'll get that thing down. You give me 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes of fuel in this thing. I'll just get this thing, these things practically land themselves at this point. Now, I mean, listen, I'm hoping it's an Airbus. I'm hoping it's not a Boeing. You're going to introduce some other factors there. But, do I know really where to set the flaps? No. But I can ask that question. I can say, hey, guy on the ground, air traffic controller. So when I'm putting this thing down, what do I do with the flaps? All right, and just tell me where the flaps are. Okay, so I turn this thing. All right. Other than that, I'm just grabbing the steering wheel. Okay, there's a brake over here. Boom. Would it be bumpy? Yes. Could I get it on the ground? Yes. Mostly in one piece? I think so. You put Jeff and I in the cockpit, we'll get anything landed. He drives a stick shift too. See that? The overconfidence of people out there. I don't want to hear from you overconfident people who say you could land an airplane, but you don't even know how to drive a real car. Nope, you're not going anywhere near that thing. Let me go hand out some peanuts in the back. Let the real drivers take this thing over. McCarthy, can you get a 24-foot U-Haul through Starro Drive?
That's a miracle. We're not miracle workers here, JP.
David, he said, set the flaps to 20%. Boom. There you go. This guy knows. Just set those
This guy
flaps.
plays Flight Simulator.
Sure. Set the flaps to 20%. You got that. What do I need to do? Hey, where's the landing gear? How do I activate that? Oh, this button. You got it. All right. Anything else I need to do? Let's watch for that crosswind there. All right. You just hold this thing steady. Hey, would I know how to do a crosswind? No, but I just need the guy as I'm bringing the thing down, be like, hey, you're going to get a little crosswind from left to right. So why don't you aim just a little to the left of the runway, or whatever. I wouldn't have that intuitive knowledge. Maybe I could figure it out. But if I've got somebody walking me through it, it's like, hey, just take the steering wheel and let's go. Just shift that thing down to third gear. Do a little downshifting there, McCarthy. You'll get that thing on the ground. Can't be that different, right? It's an intimidation game. 617-779-0985. McCarthy, could you have pulled a Captain Sully? No doubt I could have driven that thing into a body of water. I'm not saying it would have been good, but could I have gotten it into the water? Yeah. That I'm extremely confident in. You want me to crash a plane in some water? Hell yeah, baby. I can do that. That was a hell of a landing. I wouldn't have been able to do that. You want to talk about a guy who knows what he was doing. That guy. Whew. All right, that's Murray's musings for tonight. We'll do your airplane references until 11 o'clock at 617-779-0985. Let's continue. More thoughts on the Red Sox. 90 seconds, no commercials. Just a quick update here, then right back with you.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, Celtics, the Patriots, the Bruins, and the Revolution play here. WBC-FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Big weekend series for the Red Sox starting up tonight, and they lost 6-1 to the Kansas City Royals. Cooper Criswell tagged for 5 runs in this one. 5 runs, 6 runs. 5 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings pitched. It was a bumpy 6 innings, shall we say. Cole Reagan's outstanding for Kansas City. 7 innings pitched, 1 run ball, 7 strikeouts. Cutter Crawford on the mound tomorrow against Seth Lugo. Pirates rookie Paul Skeens named National League starting pitcher for the All-Star game. It's a day after he was pulled from a no-hitter. NBA news tonight. Jaylen Brunson signing a 4-year contract extension worth $156 million with the Knicks. Celtics group stage opponents announced for the in-season tournament. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, and Washington. Bruins signing defenseman Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to 2-way contracts for the upcoming season. Wimbledon final. Set Carlos Alcaraz against Novak Djokovic in a rematch of last year's final. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Scoring the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
All right, it's McCarthy in for Joe. David checks in on YouTube, says he could land a 787 on Starro, easy. I mean, with that attitude, yeah, sure. You could land it on Starro. I have no doubt that you could land it on Starro. I'm not saying it'd be good, but you could land it there. You could land it there. What do we got? Bob and Saugus. Hi, Bob.
Hey, so it's actually Dan, but I think if you had a long enough downwind and most general aviation planes and some instruction from the control tower, I think you could land it.
Yeah, there you go. Easy enough, right? Get that downwind. That's what you need. Who doesn't love a good downwind? Now, if it's a crosswind, is it going to be a little hard? Maybe. It's going to be harder. Get that down. What if something breaks in my favor? I think you're on to something there. 617-779-0985. Again, you think it's an irrational take. People out there are like, hey, McCarthy, you idiot. You couldn't do that. Well, 50% of men think they could. Now, you could say 50% of men are idiots, and you probably wouldn't be wrong about that. Yep. It's probably why women live longer than men. That we have found. 617-779-0985. Let's go to Rod in Oklahoma. Rod.
Hey, sir, I just want to know if Craig Breslow can land the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Can Breslow land a baseball team? Because this is a sports show.
Have you ever listened to 98.5 The Sports Hub before?
Oh, yeah, I loved you guys. I just hope we do something at the deadline, buddy.
All right. Sounds good, Rod. You too. It's a sports show, you know. It's very serious. Very, very serious program on a Friday night, Jeff.
Go have fun in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, man. Wow.
We're talking about, what was it, Wisconsin earlier? Or Milwaukee?
Oh, no. I'd rather... Oklahoma. Jeez. All right. No, can Breslow get the job done? I don't know. We don't have that answer yet. I will say I'm confident. Maybe confidence too strong. Am I more confident that I could land a plane or more confident that Craig Breslow is going to get the job done at the deadline? Probably more confident that I could land a plane. I am hopeful. Let me rephrase that. I am hopeful that Craig Breslow will be different than Chaim Bloom. So we talked about earlier tonight on the baseball hour. Maybe there are limitations from ownership. As Sam Kennedy made his comments, that, we won't hesitate to, take on money. And if the right deal's out there, absolutely. Our resources, we would never stop from trying to build a winner, which, of course, is a complete lie, given that, the Red Sox have not tried to build a winner in the last few years. But maybe now, after, for years saying, well, we can't add now. We have to be responsible. I mean, it's not the right time to invest. You need to pick the right time to invest. I mean, you can't be reckless. I mean, we're not ready to win yet. It's a 5-year plan. Come on. Well, maybe now you're ready to win. This is a 5-year plan, and it's year 5, and it's time to go. Maybe now they're ready to win. I mean, I think they are. I mean, I think they're built to, they've obviously improved tremendously since last year. It's starting to come together for a lot of young players on this team. They're getting better with each passing night, really, sans for tonight. I think they are ready to win. And, I hope that they've decided that now is the right time to invest. As I laid out earlier tonight on the baseball hour, it's now or never type of thing. It's now, it's this offseason, or it's never to invest in this team, because all of your prospects, not all of your prospects, but so many of your prospects are ready to go. The prospects that we've been hearing about for years are now in the upper minors. Marcelo Meyer, Kyle Teal, Roman Anthony, the big three, Nick York's in AAA. I mean, these guys you've been hearing about for years and years and years and years are on the verge of it, and you already have guys in the big leagues. You have, listen, Duran isn't all that young anymore, but he's a part of your young core. Same with Tanner Houck. Rafaela's up here. Wong's starting to put it together. All of a sudden, you have a whole bunch of guys for not a lot of positions on the baseball diamond. Outfield going into next year. Rafaela, Abreu, Duran, Anthony. Jeff, how many outfielders do you get on a baseball diamond?
3.
Yeah, I just named 4 guys right there. Oh, you also probably going to need to add a righty, so you're going to keep O'Neill in there. Okay, so got to figure that out. Middle infield. Rafaela can play both, so Rafaela. Trevor Story, remember him? He's coming back, theoretically. Rafaela, Story, Meyer, Valdez, Hamilton, Grissom, York, Christian Campbell. It's 8 guys. 8. How many middle infield spots? Not infield spots. How many middle infield spots do you get on a baseball diamond?
2.
Yeah. How are you going to play 8 guys there? How are you going to do that? Is this softball? Have we expanded the field yet? Is this beer league softball where you grab a glove and go out anywhere?
Just stand out there.
Yeah, just stand out there. Short field. Yeah, just stand out there. Get blitzed on a Sunday. Yeah, they're building a really good team for beer league softball where you don't really have positions and you just put a whole bunch of guys out in the field. They're not actually building a baseball team. Eventually, they'll be forced to build a baseball team. Do it now. Do it now. It's time to start peeling off some of these prospects because you're not going to have room for them in 6 months. You're not going to have room for them in a year. And this team is worthy of an investment. Do it. Go out and do it. It's not that hard. 617-779-0985. Your thoughts on the game tonight, your thoughts on the Red Sox approaching the deadline. We'll do Red Sox for the majority of the rest of the show. Will in the car. Hey, Will.
Hey, Matt. How's it going? I love the show. I think you're great. I'm just wondering, does tonight not cement that the Red Sox need to go and get a starting pitcher at the deadline? Like, Chris Wells, great and all, but I think the Red Sox just need to add at the deadline. Just wanted to hear your thoughts.
Well, you're spot on. You're spot on about the game tonight. The takeaway from this game tonight is that the Red Sox weaknesses and deficiencies showed up in a big way. They have not been able to hit left-handed pitching this year. You faced an absolute stud in Cole Reagans tonight, who shoved. As I told you, he probably was going to in the baseball hour. I said, you watch this guy. He's great, and he is. And the Red Sox are not built to beat left-handed pitching because they don't have any impact right-handed hitters. Cora told you that tonight. He told you that because Duran was not leading off. I'd have to check the last time Duran didn't lead off. I mean, he's basically led off the entire year. And because they were going up against a really good lefty, they put Ref Snyder in the leadoff spot to try and spark the team because they're now 12-15 against left-handed starters this year. O'Neill went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. You need more from him against a left-handed pitcher. But Cora tried. Cora tried to spark the team. Don't you like that he can actually come in here and talk about a lineup thing like that because people care about it? They do. They're watching the games now. It's good. Cora tried to spark the team tonight with a lineup switch. It didn't work because he knows he's short. He knows he doesn't have enough impact right-handed hitters. So he tried to upload them. He tried to put them at the front of the lineup. Ref Snyder hits lefties great. I'm going to lead him off tonight. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to take Jaron Duran, my all-star leadoff hitter, and put him in the 2-hole tonight because I feel this strongly about my team against left-handed pitching. And it showed again tonight. It did. So they can't hit lefties, and we know they need more starting pitching. You can't expect Cooper Criswell to go out there and give you a stud performance up against an actual stud in Reagan's. And that's exactly what happened. Yes, tonight is the perfect example of why you need to add at the deadline. The perfect example of that. Because their weaknesses were on display tonight. David in North Providence. Hey, David.
Yes, how you doing tonight?
How you doing, David? I'm good.
They definitely need a number 2, 3, or 4 starter. That's number 1. And number 2, I got to ask you this question. I hope you have some insight. When is Casas coming back? Like, when is this kid going to Worcester on a rehab assignment? I mean, is he going to be out until next year? I mean, it's getting a little crazy right now.
David, it's a good question, and we need to start talking about this a little bit more. The whole Tristan Casas, I'm going to be ready when, my time's up on the 60-day DL. Really? With that injury, that rib injury? When that injury happened and he went on the 60-day IL, I said, you're not going to see him for the rest of the year. It's a rare injury, rib cartilage torn because of a swing. And then he comes out and does this whole oh yeah, I've been taking swings. Oh, they haven't really been swings. They've just been mental swings. I'm not convinced he's coming back anytime soon. I'm also not convinced he's going to give you what you expected him to give you. I don't know what he's going to be like coming back after this injury. I mean, they said it was going to be anywhere from 3 to 9 months, wasn't it? That's a wide-ass range, man. I'd have to go back and look at that, but I think they said 3 to 9 months. Casas injury timeline. Let's see. Casas targeted a July 2nd return to action. It's July 12th. It's not trending in the right direction. Boy, all these fake dates. June 21st. Oh, I'm eligible to come off June 21st. Nope. Okay. Timetable is wide, Tristan Casas said. Could be 3 weeks. Could be 6 weeks. Could be 9 weeks. What? 9 weeks to start cardio activity, he said. This is going all the way back to April. He was told by the doctor that he created his own car crash. The timetable is wide. Could be 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks to start cardio activity. Don't count on this. Don't count on this, which is why the Red Sox need to go out and add an impact hitter at this deadline. Needs to be a righty, needs to be an impact hitter. 617-779-0985. We continue with your Sox thoughts and anything you want tonight. It's McCarthy on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
paying it off. What Boston sports figure would you want to go to a concert with, and who would you want to see? I think the obvious answer is Bill Walton, Grateful Dead. And I am not a Grateful Dead fan. I'm not. But just to experience that with Bill Walton would have been pretty cool. Mike Felger, Grateful Dead. I would like to go see the Dead with Felger. Pearl Jam.
See, I was going to say that.
Pearl Jam.
I would like to go see Pearl Jam with Theo.
Yes. Yes, in the gorilla suit and all that.
Yes.
Like go with them
That'd be great.
Go with them to South America. Yes. What concert do you think Chaim Bloom and Craig Breslow want to go to? Oh man.
Third Eye Blind.
Not a chance. Third Eye Blind's too cool for them.
Yeah, they would definitely be going to Dave Matthews then.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, definitely. Breslow was not at the game tonight. He didn't care about Cooper Criswell because, I mean, it doesn't matter. He's not going to improve the team. He was at Dave Matthews tonight. Yeah, that is Dave Matthews. I will say that is a very Chaim Bloom. That has a very Chaim Bloom, Craig Breslow vibe. It does. Not Springsteen because they're not real baseball people. They're just nerds. So like the Springsteen thing, anybody from baseball. Now, I would say that like what Boston sports figures do you want to, go to a concert with? I have seen Bruce Springsteen with Mike Reese in the pit. That's a hell of an experience. Just being in the pit. And Minahan there, everything. That's a crew. DJ Bean. You want to talk of the Springsteen pit for Springsteen. That is a who's who of white Boston sports media members. That's a who's who, man. That's a good place to be. Good place to be. So you can add your thoughts on that. 617-779-0985. To you on the Red Sox, on landing a plane, on who you want to go see a concert with, and who. Oli in Revere. Oli!
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good. So, I went to the game tonight. Yeah, they definitely need to add a righty bat. I mean, the lineup tonight, I just noticed that just not right. I mean, ref's not leading off because of the lefty. I get it, but I mean, Westbrook and Romy, it's just not it. We got embarrassed tonight by a quality pitcher, but hey, we also need one of those too.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, Oli, you're spot on. Like it's Romy Gonzalez not going to be good enough. Westbrook not going to be good enough. No, Ref Snyder, who by the way I really like him. Rob Ref Snyder, if you look up quality role player in the dictionary, there's that guy. He was wasted on the Red Sox these last couple of years because the teams weren't good. Like, Ref Snyder is the perfect guy to have on a good team. He's going to come in, play a decent outfield for you, and he's going to come in and hit lefties. That is as role player-y as role player gets, and he's a good one. But yes, tonight is absolutely the highlight. Like, if you were at that game tonight, and I've got a question for you. How many people were Royals fans? First and foremost. Again, I don't have the sound on here in the studio. But if you were at that game tonight, how many people were Royals fans, and what did you make of it? I think there's only one clear takeaway. The Red Sox weaknesses were on display tonight. And that Royals team's good. They're fun. They're entertaining. It's the inning where got the guy to second because of his speed, then they bunted him over. And again, I'm only able to half watch the game here, so I mean I'm not going to be able to recall everything, but they showed you they're kind of like you. This Royals team is kind of like you. You got a starting pitching staff that's overachieved, and they've got a star player in Bobby Witt. You have a star player in Rafael Devers, and they can run and they can apply pressure, and they're a good, young, fun team. Let's see if the Royals improve at the deadline, and let's see if you choose to stand pat. That would be bad. Real quick, so tomorrow Seth Lugo's pitching, which I do think is interesting. Lugo against Crawford. Talked about how the Red Sox need pitching. They were interested in Seth Lugo, which we can get into here momentarily. But I got to get Jay in Boston up on the line on landing a plane. Hi, Jay.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you
doing on tonight?
Oh, Red Sox, talking about landing planes, all that, you name it.
So the first thing that comes to mind for me is, you remember that Denzel movie where he landed that plane when he was drunk? If he can land a plane drunk, I can land a plane.
Yeah, that's right. If Denzel can do it and he's hammered, right, you can land the plane. I mean, you'd be sober. You'd be sober in this scenario, right? Right, Jay?
Yeah, I'd be sober. It's not that hard. I could drive a stick.
There we go.
You know, the hardest part of landing a plane is controlling the power coming down into the landing. And if you know how to drive stick, you know how to control the power with the clutch. It's the same thing.
Dude, Jay in Boston, my guy right there. Nope, that's why. That is the scientific reason why if you can drive a stick shift, you can land a plane. And that's the first question, literally the first question I'm asking in this scenario when they get over the loudspeaker and they say, oh, you know, not to panic you, but can anybody here fly a plane? First question I'm asking. My man, my woman next to me, whatever it is, my fellow human being, they raise their hand, they say, I can do this. If Jay in Boston's on the plane, he raises his hand, he says, I can do this. My first question, I say, Jay, my guy, can you drive a stick shift? And he responds to me like that. Hell yeah, I can drive a stick shift. And that's going to be the hardest thing about getting this thing down. It's just like downshifting. You got to control the power going into the ground. That's my guy. Put him behind the wheel. Put him behind the wheel. I'm also ashamed to admit I have not seen... What Denzel movie is it, Jeff? Because I saw you react to that.
Flight.
Flight? I have not seen Flight. Let me Google this. I love a good Denzel movie. How do I know?
It's pretty good.
How do I not know this? How have I not seen this? 2012?
So this was around the same time as the Sully incident, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of got like, kicked aside.
Right. Hold on. He plays an alcoholic airline pilot.
Like before he goes on the plane, he like chugs a bottle of vodka, and he just passes out during the flight and wakes up and like everything's going all over. It's chaos.
Well, that's not good.
But he's very calm the whole time.
I'm sure. Well, right, because he's a pilot.
Yes.
Trust me, most pilots are. I mean, they've seen it all, right?
Like he crash lands this plane inverted. That's how he gets it to like stabilize.
Of course he does. Because he was, but you know what? Because he was inverted in that moment, so he was, perfect for it. You're right. If Denzel can do it, I mean, not that I should operate my life like if Denzel can do it. I mean, Denzel can do everything that I can't because he's Denzel.
Yeah, he's Denzel.
I mean, he's Denzel. Let's be honest. The guy's the man. But he was drunk when he did this. I'd be sober. And let me tell you, I mean, if I'm back there and I'm taking advantage of my my JetBlue credit card and I'm saying, yeah, I'll take another one of those. No, I will hand it over to somebody else. I would want to be sober in this scenario. Although I feel like this would sober you up. It's like, hey, you got to land this thing. Like, all right, I'm sober now. But again, my first question would be, hey, who here is sober? And B, can you drive a stick shift? And if you answer both of those questions, up there, give it a shot. 617-779-0985. Really interesting pitching matchup tomorrow at Fenway. Get into that next. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost the Royals tonight 6-1. Cole Reagans was outstanding. 4 hits, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Tomorrow, Cutter Crawford on the mound against Seth Lugo. Justin Slayton placed on the injured list with elbow inflammation today. Celtics group opponents for the in-season tournament announced tonight: Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, and Washington. Elsewhere in the NBA, Jaylen Brunson signing a 4-year, $156 million contract extension with the Knicks. Bruins signing defenseman Michael Callahan and Alec Regula to two-way contracts today. And at the Wimbledon final set for this weekend, Carlos Alcaraz will match up against Novak Djokovic in a rematch of last year's final. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-thru oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
by Kansas City. That Paul Skeens, I can't wait to watch him. Can't wait to watch him on Tuesday. Real quick, we'll actually do this coming up to end the show. Big time anniversary. Big time anniversary. Today and tomorrow in Boston sports history. I don't think it's gotten the attention it deserved. I will do that coming up here momentarily. But yeah, you generally have to pay for good pitching. Unless you're the Kansas City Royals, who signed Seth Lugo this past offseason to a 2-year, $30 million contract with a player option for 2026. 2 years, $30 million, $15 a year for Seth Lugo. He starts tomorrow. He is 11-3 with a 2.21 ERA. He is an all-star. Pretty good. Red Sox were said to be interested. Apparently, the price was too steep. At 2 years, $30 million for a guy who has had, in the last 4 seasons, an ERA under 3.6. 3.5, 3.6, 3.57, 2.21. This is a legitimate second guess. They wanted Seth Lugo. They weren't willing to pay. Imagine if it were Seth Lugo starting tonight instead of Cooper Criswell. Maybe it's a different game. The Red Sox need more pitching. We know that. We understand that. You need to be interested enough to sign it. And this is a legitimate second guess for this team. Imagine where they'd be right now. I mean, they're 9 games over 500 already. Imagine where they'd be if they had the guy with an 11-3 record and a 2.21 ERA, the all-star, that they could have had for $15 million a year. This is not a, as I said, it's a legitimate second guess, but this is not hindsight is 2020. Most Red Sox fans wanted Seth Lugo this past offseason. Now, you wanted more, you wanted something greater than, and I get that, I understand that. This guy's been a pretty solid pitcher in the big leagues for a while now. 9-year veteran, a 3.29 career ERA. They could have had this guy for pennies on the dollar. $15 million. $15 million a year. You spent 18 on Lucas Giolito. What the hell were you doing? This is something I have hesitated to criticize Craig Breslow because frankly there isn't enough data on Breslow yet. Which I know is nerdy and all that. I need a larger sample size with Craig Breslow. This is a real miss. This is a real miss for somebody who I guess I generally do trust. When it comes to pitching, and listen, this is why you hired him in the first place. Well, because 12 people turned you down. But this is what Breslow's supposed to get right. He's supposed to get the pitching right. And Seth Lugo was a real miss. Real miss this offseason. So you'll see him tomorrow against Cutter Crawford in a really important game in this series. Big weekend series. Big weekend series for the Red Sox. Got to take 2 out of 3. Have to take 2 out of 3 because I don't want to give Breslow and Sam Kennedy any type of excuse. Any type of excuse whatsoever. Heading into the trading deadline. I don't need Gasper to come back next week and say, see, I told you so. Told you so. You shouldn't try to win. No. That's all about the long-term plan. Come on. Speaking of something long-term, you ready for this, Jeff? I got a Major League Baseball draft take for you. That's nerdy stuff right there. I think the nerdiest thing that's ever been done in the history of 98.5 The Sports Hub is Tyler Milliken and I doing a podcast on the MLB draft, doing a 90-minute podcast on Jack Leiter and Marcelo Meyer. And you two loved every second of it, too. Oh, it was pants off. We were both naked in the studio. That's where actually the idea for Nipples for Triples came. Milliken and I were both naked and pleasuring ourselves to Kumar Rocker in the 2021 MLB draft. Yep. I think I went to management, or I should have gone to management. We were like, you guys, you want us to do this on the air on a Sunday night? And they would have said, do it on YouTube. Yeah. No, not a chance, which was the only appropriate response. The MLB draft is this weekend. I'm not gonna get into mock drafts with you. I'm not gonna tell you who the Red Sox should draft. I'm not gonna do any of that. You can do that on your own time. We can do Sox prospects We can do a whole podcast. We can go on YouTube. We can do whatever. I won't give it to you here, but I will give you this. I don't believe that you should draft for need in the MLB draft. It's not the way the MLB draft works. You're not going to see these guys for 3 to 5 years. This is not the NFL draft where you're at number 3 and your team sucks and your organization sucks and you take a quarterback. That's not the way it is. This is the MLB draft. It's completely different. It's why it's really not a good sports talk radio talker. But bear with me for this. For 2 seconds, please. I beg of you. Before you say McCarthy, MLB draft, give me a break. Take a guess how many pitchers in the last 4 years, Jeff, the Red Sox have taken in the top 100 of the draft. So 3 to 4 rounds, you get compensation picks in there. I mean, essentially, you could get 4 picks in the top 100. The Red Sox have had a number of times 4 picks in the top 100. Take a guess how many pitchers Chaim Bloom took in the top 100 of the draft during his 4-year tenure running the draft for the Red Sox.
I'm just going to say 2.
Fewer.
1.
That's it. Pitcher. 1 pitcher. And you wonder why the Red Sox are sitting here and it's Cooper Criswell starting tonight and it's not that you didn't sign Seth Lugo or anything like that. Like, they don't have enough pitching in their organization. They don't, and they haven't in a long time. So I'm not saying with the 12th overall pick, you need to take this pitcher. That's not the way it works. That's not the MLB draft. It would be irresponsible of me. It would be reckless of me. Reckless, I tell you. For me to come in here and say, you need to take this pitcher with the 12th overall pick. You need to take a pitcher. You need to draft for need. That's not the way the MLB draft works. But there needs to be a concerted effort from this organization to invest in pitching. Because Chaim Bloom did not believe in investing in pitching. He came from the Rays model, which is pitching is expensive. Don't invest in it. These guys are going to get hurt. And the best way to build a winning baseball team on a shoestring budget is to just bring in a whole bunch of crap, try and fix them, get them to spin the hell out of the ball, and get them on our program and burn their arms out, and then just go to the next guy. The no-name schlub approach. That hasn't worked for them. You're better off finding ways to develop and improve guys with legitimate talent, which is what has gone on with Tanner Houck, who was a first-round pick. First-round pick, Tanner Houck under Dave Dombrowski. You get him the right pitching coach finally, and look at what's happening. You need to invest serious capital in improving the pitching in this organization. It starts on Sunday night. There's an MLB draft take for you. Did you like it? Could you tolerate it? A take that I think you'll like better. Not even a take. A reminisce. A look back. Tony Soprano says, remember when is the lowest form of conversation. Not with this. Not with this. Big time anniversary going on in Boston sports. We'll do that next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
to that sound, man. It sounds like a hammer, like a sledgehammer. Oh! Look at the height of that. They're over the light towers.
I think they got to build a wall, maybe.
Ouch!
Back. It's all the way to Marblehead. In a single round, we've never seen third. Oh, they just love him here. Second in MVP voting. A year ago, Rookie of the year before that. He led the American League with 209.
That kind of a welcome.
However, he is not going to change his stroke. This is home for him.
That'll relieve a lot of pressure right there. Just a great, slight uppercut to his swing.
Oh, Junior is putting on a show now. Big Mac, your round was the first. Now I'm warming up.
He's looking good. Yeah.
Now he says, let me take aim at the deepest part of the park again. Oh! Griffey's done it twice. McGuire twice. Luke twice. And Junior Griffey sends it back. Good! The man and still champion, Junior Griffey.
25 years ago tonight. It can't be. Come on, can't be. 10 years ago, max. The 1999 Home Run Derby at Fenway Park, which I'm sure you understood by Chris Berman talking about Marblehead. You remember where you were for this one? Again, remember when the lowest form of conversation. Not when it comes to this. This was an all-timer. I'm telling you, if I could go back and relive 1 week as a sports fan, 1999 All-Star Week would probably be right up there. I mean, if I could be it at all, be at the game Tuesday night, be when Ted Williams came out, with the All-Century team there and Pedro putting on the show and being on Lansdowne for the Home Run Derby, I would do that. I would get my DeLorean. I would do that. What a freaking night. 25 years ago tonight, the Home Run Derby at Fenway Park.
I feel like 1999 to me, and maybe to you as well, maybe our generation of Red Sox fans growing up, is our parents, grandparents, 1967.
Yes.
I think 1999 is that for us.
No doubt. Because of the All-Star game. But it was so much more than, and listen, I mean, the
Red Sox making the ALCS later on, yeah.
Made the ALCS, and I mean, I still remember, as a kid, sobbing myself to sleep after the Tim Cheetah game. Brett Saber, I was so irrationally mad at Brett Saberhagen for that game.
I remember my brother flipped the living room dining table after that.
I was like, Offerman, what a screw job.
Oh,
what a screw job.
That table. I was like, oh, Jesus.
They stood no chance in that series. None whatsoever. No. None. I mean, they're going to get their asses kicked. But, man, 1999. Can you name the 10 Home Run Derby participants in 1999 at Fenway Park? Can you name the champion, first and foremost?
Oh, Griffey.
Everybody thinks McGuire won. No, it was Griffey. McGuire put on a show in round one.
And then that was it.
He didn't make the finals.
Nope.
That was back when they would go 8 and then 4, and then 2. He didn't make the finals. Griffey won. Who did he beat in the finals? With 3 home runs. 3 home runs in the final. McGuire set the record. It was like the most incredible thing you had ever seen with 13 home runs.
I feel like it's one of those, random, middle infield guys from, the 90s that just, would hit, 40 home runs because he was on juice.
Right. He played for Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Outfielder.
What was that?
Outfielder. Jeremy Burnitz.
I was going to say Greg Vaughn.
Ken Griffey Jr. beat Jeremy Burnitz, not Mark McGuire, in the Home Run Derby final.
Not even Nomar, too.
Nomar didn't advance out of the first round.
No, that was sad.
Nomar hit 2 home runs. He was hurt, though. And
yeah.
The Home Run Derby was not his. Take a guess as to who else was in it.
I'm going to say Sosa.
Sosa hit 1 home run.
That's it. Wow.
1 home run. Tied for 9th. You're not going to get this with John Jaha. Good old Mikey Adams. Didn't Mikey Adams used to be like John Jaha? John Jaha. Jeff Bagwell advanced the second round. Your other participants, Larry Walker, B.J. Surhoff, and Sean Green. Not a great list. Not a great list.
Decent hitters, B.J. Surhoff, though. Like
Yes.
I can tell you that's the first time I've heard that name in like probably 25 years.
I love B.J. Surhoff. He was a dirt dog. Larry Walker. Yeah. Home run derby was great. Nothing tops Pedro in the All-Star game. Can you give this to me? All the Pedro strikeouts, just I need the feels. Tomorrow.
Look at the 15-game winner with that league-leading ERA of
I just have to
see you later. 70 home runs, kiss my ass.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Bagwell. Runner goes, swing and a miss, struck him out, throw down. Williams is gone, strike him out, throw him out, double play. And Martinez has faced the minimum through 2.
I can still see just about every pitch in that. The changeup he throws to Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer Barry Larkin. He spins Larkin around like a top. That poor bastard. Larry Walker. I don't think you've ever, I mean, they could build a statue of Larry Walker from him just standing there watching that fastball in the black. He throws a curveball to Sosa, his third best pitch. A curveball to Sosa that jelly leg Sammy Sosa like you wouldn't believe. Blows McGuire away with a fastball. Like McGuire, who nobody would pitch to, terrified of, just blows him away with it. Matt Williams, there's the answer to a trivia question. The only person to put the ball in play against Pedro Martinez in the 1999 All-Star game. You remember what happened? Matt Williams?
I don't know.
He had a grounder to Robbie Alomar, and Alomar butchered it. Alomar, of all guys. And then they try and do a hit and run with Bagwell at the plate, or, Williams goes or whatever, and Pudge throws him out. Which in some ways sucked because I think it was Piazza next.
Yeah.
Pedro would have struck him out.
Oh, easily.
Pedro would have struck him out. I bet you I could still name that National League starting lineup. Larkin, Hall of Famer. Walker, Hall of Famer. Sosa, should be in the Hall of Fame. McGuire, should be in the Hall of Fame. Matt Williams, really good player. Jeff Bagwell, Hall of Fame. Pedro struck out 3 Hall of Famers and 2 guys who should be in the Hall of Fame. Then I think it was Piazza, Burnitz, and Jay Bell. I think that's your starting lineup. You can still do it. American League starting lineup. Let's see if I can do this off the top. Pudge is catching. Guess Tomey at first, Alomar at second, Nomar at short, Ripken at third, Griffey, Lofton, Manny Ramirez. And the DH was Rafael Palmeiro. Just assume I got all of that right, but trust me, I got it right. Here's a trivia question for you, Jeff. Who started for the National League that night? Pitched for the Phillies at the time.
Halladay?
Curt Schilling.
What? Really?
Curt Schilling started the All-Star game opposite Pedro Martinez. There you have it. Tomorrow night, the 25th anniversary of the greatest night in the history of Fenway Park.
It's on YouTube. Put it on your TV and just watch
it's awesome. Go back. I'm going to be watching it all day tomorrow. Just pants off. I'm going to be pleasuring myself to it. Jeff Williams, great work tonight. I'm Matt McCarthy. Have a great weekend. I'm back on Monday with Felger. Fair warning. See ya.
What? Reliable. And even relentless at times.
We're doing it live.
This is